tournament team that is bringing you every game of the 2017 NWAC tournament on KLOG, KLOG.com, and Topher Vision. We are about 7 minutes away from first pitch in game number 13, featuring the Lane Titans and the only unbeaten team, the Lower Columbia College Red Devils. Lane was beaten by Everett in the first round, 3-2. They came back to win two nail-biters, beating Mount Hood and Columbia Basin by identical 3-2 scores. The Red Devils down to Mount Hood on opening day 10-1. They followed that up with a hard-fought 5-2 win over Everett, then rolled over Walla Walla last night 13-3 in a ball game that got over just a little bit before midnight. If Lower Columbia wins today's game, they will play Everett tomorrow at 12:05. Everett eliminated Walla Walla in the first game today, winning 9-2. If the Red Devils should lose this game, they would await the winner of a game between Lane and Everett tomorrow at 12:05 and then play that winner at 3:05 for the NWAC championship. We have an absolutely lovely day for baseball here in the Lower Columbia region. Temperatures in the mid-70s, maybe not quite as warm as they had said it was going to be, but just absolutely perfect conditions. And I want to encourage you, if you're in the local area, to come on over to Story Field on the campus and watch some NWAC championship baseball. The play so far has been absolutely marvelous, and obviously a very, very festive atmosphere. So we're just minutes away from first pitch. We're glad you're with us on ESPN Radio for Kelso Longview, 1490 KLOG. We'll be back with the starting lineups for today's ball game in 1 minute following these messages from our fine Lower Columbia Red Devil sponsors.
Every guardsman knows the call. It has many meanings, but when it's spoken, the message is clear, heard, understood, acknowledged. Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
With a record of 5-4, an earned run average of exactly 3. For the Red Devils, as announced by head coach Eddie Smith, they'll go with Ricky Muzzy leading off at second base. J.T. Strickler is going to be the DH today, bats second. Cameron Campbell bats third at first base. Jordan Barkas bats cleanup at third base. Batting fifth, Kyle Sandstrom in center field. Batting sixth, Trevor Huddleston in right field. Chase Hodgkinson gets the start behind the plate today. He bats seventh. Steve Robinson batting eighth in left field. Corey Conklin is the shortstop batting ninth. And on the mound pitching, getting his fourth start of the year, Travis Painter. He is no record on the year, and also an earned run average of 3.00. And that's a young man that has gotten just a little bit better and better and better through the last half of this year. So Travis Painter will be the starting pitcher. Let's pause now for the playing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the
Just about ready for the Red Devils to take the field for first pitch here at Story Field. Let's go ahead and set them defensively for you. Cameron Campbell will be at first base today. Ricky Muzzy at second. Jordan Barkas is at third. And Corey Conklin, as he's been all year long, will be the shortstop. Steve Robinson in left field. Kyle Stanstrom in center. And Trevor Huddleston is in right. Chase Hodgkinson catches today. And Travis Painter is on the mound, the right-hander out of Port Angeles. The umpires for today's game: behind the plate, Chris Claflin; at first base, Colin Price; at second base, Jim Courtney; and at third base, Jim Clifford. So as we work our way deeper into the tournament, they move from a 3-man umpiring crew to a 4-man umpiring crew. And we're down to the final 3 teams now, with Walla Walla having been eliminated earlier today by Everett. And Walla Walla came in, got a couple of real nice wins to begin play, and then got down pretty badly last night by Lower Columbia. And then Everett put it to them again pretty good today. So the remaining 3 teams are the Everett Trojans out of the north, the Lane Titans out of the south, and the Lower Columbia College Red Devils, the only unbeaten team in the tournament, representing the West region. Been a while since Travis Painter has started a ball game for the Red Devils, so it'll be interesting to see how he reacts to that. He's pitched a lot in relief over the past few weeks, and like I say, after kind of a slow start, as often happens with a freshman, Travis kind of adjusted to the college game and got a little sharper with his control, and just got a little better and a little better and a little better, and by the end of the year, he was a pretty reliable guy out of the bullpen. So with Travis throwing today, you've got Taylor Davis available to start tomorrow. And I would imagine, well, certainly Tyler Parsons is available after throwing only a couple of innings in relief. And Jared Aiken probably would be available tomorrow as well. Chase Hodgkinson going to go out and have a quick word with Travis before we begin play here in the top half of the first inning. The visit continues, and we got a text here last night. The people down in Australia who were tuned in on Topher Vision wanted us to give them a shout out, so we'll go ahead and get that out of the way right away. Delighted you're with us to watch NWAC Championship Baseball, and of course we've got a couple of Australians on our roster, Chase Hodgkinson being one of them, the starting catcher, and Sam Trenbeek, a backup third baseman, the other, and they have been absolutely a delight here to have on campus at Lower Columbia College. We're just about ready to get underway. First pitch down low. Time of the first pitch, 4:07. 4:07, time of the first pitch. 1 ball the count to Hank Forrest, left-handed batter with 2 home runs, hitting .277. The next pitch down low and away, 2-0 the count. Lane has pretty much done it with pitching and defense all year. As a team, they've only hit .243 and only have hit 10 home runs on the year. Their pitching, however, earned run average of 2.52. The next pitch, up high, ball 3, 3-0 the count on Hank Forrest. He'll be followed by Jaden Hanna and Tony Ortiz. Breeze blowing in from left field, as is normally the case here at Story Field this time of the day. Here comes a 3-0 pitch. It's in there for a called strike, and the count is 3-1. Corey Conklin, the shortstop, pulled over a little bit towards second base and playing deep. Jordan Barkas, the third baseman, plays well off the line, so clearly they play Hank Forrest to pull the ball. The 3-1 pitch, chopped to the right side. Cameron Campbell fields. He'll race to the bag himself. Quickly, 1 man down here in the top half of the first. So Travis Painter works back from a 3-0 count and gets Hank Forrest to bounce out 3 unassisted. And that'll bring in Jaden Hanna, the second baseman. Hanna hitting .228 on the year with no home runs. Like Forrest, a left-handed batter. Painter ready, delivers. Pitch up high and away, ball 1. Travis leans down and gets a sign from his catcher, Chase Hodgkinson. Next pitch, popped up, shallow left field. Steve Robinson calling for it, makes the catch. Kind of side saddled it just a little bit out there in left field as that wind kind of knocking the ball around up there. So quickly 2 men down in the top half of the first. And there you see the replay of it on Topher Vision, and ball kind of moved to his left a little bit there as it was coming down. That'll bring in Tony Ortiz, good ball player for the Titans, hitting .322 with 3 home runs on the year. Had a home run earlier in the tournament, absolutely a mammoth shot to right center field. There's the first pitch. It's in for a called strike, and the count quickly 0-1. So 3 straight left-handed batters for the Lane Titans to face Travis Painter. Outfield straight away for Mr. Ortiz. If he gets aboard, Thomas Radinsky is on deck. Painter ready. Next pitch. Tried to take a little off of it. Ball kind of slipped out of his hand and was very high. Hodgkinson had to jump up in the air to flag it down. It was an off-speed pitch. They play Ortiz to pull the ball as well, as everybody shaded around to the right on the infield. Outfield straight away. There's a soft line drive headed into left field. Robinson comes in and makes the catch with a gloved hand. And that'll do it for Lane here in the top half of the first. They go quietly, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. On to the bottom of the first, scoreless, Lane with Lower Columbia coming to bat.
LCC has definitely prepared me to transfer to Oregon State because it's helped me with my study skills. I'm a much harder worker than I was in high school.
I had a great support base by the staff, and I've made some great friends that I think I'll carry on with my life.
I've definitely loved my classes. I've learned a lot. It's been a healthy environment.
Don't be afraid to branch out. The people here are awesome. I'm going to be in it for a while, but down the road I'll be finishing up and be ready to join the workforce.
When you first visit Seattle Pacific University, it's easy to fall in love with the campus. But just ask one of the students. There's something different about SPU, a place where faith, service, and academic excellence meet. And it's the only private university in the Pacific Northwest to make the latest U.S. News and World Report Best National Universities list. This is Seattle Pacific University.
Red Devil Baseball being brought to you today by All Out Sewer and Drain Service, over 30 years of professionally cleaning out your drains, not your wallet. And by Baker Lumber Company, your only locally owned building materials store in Kelso Longview. Let's set Lane defensively for you. Tony Ortiz is at first base. Jaden Hanna is at second. Henry Lovecamp at third. And Boone Caceres is the shortstop. Colton Sakamoto is in left field. Hank Forrest in center. And Bryce Mulcahy is in right. Jimmy McDonald behind the plate catching. And on the mound pitching with a record of 5-4, an earned run average of 3.00, right-hander Kyle Keith. Keith is a sophomore. He stands 6'1", and he is out of Kelly Walsh High School in Casper, Wyoming. Don't see a lot of kids from Wyoming playing in the NWAC, but Kyle Keith is. Wyoming's got a pretty good youth baseball program. Ricky Muzzy, who led off last night's ball game with a triple to right center field, will step in to face Kyle Keith. Ricky, after last night's ball game, hitting .340 on the year. He has 3 home runs. Young man out of Freeland, Washington, on the southern tip of Whidbey Island, went to South Whidbey High School. Keith ready, he delivers. The first pitch is poured in for a strike, and the count is 0-1. JT Strickler on deck. He'll be followed then by Cameron Campbell, the top third of the Red Devil lineup. Outfield straight away for Ricky Muzzy. The 0-1 pitch, down low, ball one. 1-1 the count. Muzzy, a right-handed batter, slightly open stance. And then as he gets set, he opens up with even more wide open stance. Next pitch fouled behind the plate, and the count is 1-2. Red Devils in the white pants and the navy blue uniforms. Lane in gray pants with black jerseys. Second baseman Hanna, quite deep. Here comes the pitch, down low. Count evens up at 2-2 on Muzzy. Pretty stiff breeze blowing right now. If you're going to hit it out to left field, you're going to have to hit it pretty hard. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Chopped to the left side, and it is going to make its way into left field just beyond the diving Boone Cazares. So Ricky Muzzy leads off with a Sinai single, a chopper that just got to the right and under the glove of Boone Cazares, who made a nice diving attempt at it. In steps JT Strickler. JT, 378 hitter on the year with 4 home runs. Until today, he had caught the first 3 games of the NWAC tournament. The first pitch is a fastball right on the outside edge for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Third baseman Lovecamp playing even with the bag. As he did for Muzzy, outfield plays straight away for Strickler. Shortstop Cazares shaded a little bit. Now he shifts back into a more traditional spot. The next pitch, a breaking ball in for a called strike, and quickly 2 strikes on JT Strickler. JT takes big deep breath, shrugs his shoulders, now gets back in. Right-handed batter from a crouch. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, chopped foul behind the plate. That pitch kind of rode up and in on him. Strickler having a look down to head coach or third base coach Eric Lane. Head coach Eddie Smith in the dugout. Kyle Keith working from the first base side of the rubber. Now they got the runner picked off. They've got Muzzy in a rundown. Shortstop's got the ball now. That's Cazares, and he throws. And Muzzy is tagged out at first base and in a collision. And I think that is that the pitcher that was injured or the second baseman, number 31? I'll have to check on that. Yeah, the pitcher. That's Kyle Keith, who was covering, and as Muzzy went diving back into first base, he collided with Kyle Keith, and Kyle Keith is kind of limping around right now, but as he moves around, well, he's kind of bent over right now, and you'll get a chance to watch the replay here. That's Cazares, the shortstop, chasing him back. And Keith took the throw sort of in front of the first base bag there. Nothing intentional on the part of Ricky Muzzy by any means. Keith seems to be moving a little bit better right now, and I'm assuming he's probably going to stay in the ball game because he's asked the base umpire for a baseball. He's telling head coach Josh Blunt he's okay, so he's going to try and stay in there. I assume they'll probably give him a chance to throw a warm-up toss or two just to make sure he's okay. We'll see. I thought he looked a little bit tender on his landing there. So Muzzy is picked off. There's the second toss from Kyle Keith, and Josh Blunt, apparently satisfied, is going to make his way back toward the dugout, and Kyle Keith gets a nice round of applause. Count no balls, 2 strikes on JT Strickler. Keith ready, the 0-2 pitch. Fastball very high, pops out of the glove of catcher Jimmy McDonald and comes back toward the backstop. Jordan Barkus chases it down. Keith ready, here comes the 1-2 pitch. Curveball, called strike 3, right on the inside edge. You don't see JT get rung up that often, and don't think he really appreciated the call too much. I think he thought it was maybe inside just a little bit, but nonetheless, Strickler's a strikeout victim. 2 men down now in the bottom half of the first, and that'll bring in Cameron Campbell. Campbell hitting .283 on the year with 7 home runs. First pitch is a curveball inside. Campbell turns away from it, and the count is 1 ball. Jordan Barkus in the on-deck circle for the Red Devils. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fastball down low, 2-0 the count. Lane pretty much a fixture over the last 5 or 6 years at the NWAC championships. There's a chopper up the third base line, fielded well behind the bag by Lovecamp. Strong throw, and man, they just got Campbell by about a half a stride. Nice, strong throw by Henry Lovecamp down there at third base. You're going to get a chance to see it on Topher Vision. Red Devils go quietly here in the bottom of the first. We're scoreless after 1.
The challenges facing the country never stop. So neither does the U.S. Army. We train, adapt, and get smarter. Every soldier, every unit, every day. Not to keep up with change, but to drive it. Nobody knows what problems tomorrow will bring, but we do know who will solve them.
People say knowledge is power, and they have a point.
At Portland State, you tell your own story.
You build your own stage.
You take your best ideas to the streets.
You let the world see who you are
and who you hope to be. Knowledge is about how hard you're willing to work to do something real.
It's about how far you're willing to go to do something great.
Like it never happened.
In the top of the second inning for Lane, the DH number 17, Thomas Radinsky.
Number 4 hitter in the lineup, Thomas Radinsky, will step in to face Travis Painter. He'll be followed by Bryce Mulcahy and Jimmy McDonald here as we begin play in the top half of the second. Painter delivers. The first pitch is a fastball that rides in, and the count is 1 ball. Painter, pretty good fastball, a little breaking ball. Right-hander ready. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Hit on the ground right side. Right to Cameron Campbell at first base. He'll run to the bag. So quickly, 1 man down here in the top half of the second. That's 2 putouts in the early going for Cameron Campbell down at first base. And Bryce Mulcahy will step in. Mulcahy, 246 hitter on the year with 1 home run. Another left-handed batter for the Lane Titans. Mulcahy out of St. Helens, Oregon. Painter ready. The first pitch, breaking ball down and in, ball 1. Still some fans filing in here at Story Field. Still thought we might have a little bigger crowd today. If you're in the local area driving around, come on over to the field. With weather conditions are absolutely perfect. And we've got 2 good baseball teams going. There's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Had a good fastball. That ball tailed away from the left-handed hitting Mulcahy. And the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Mulcahy, after stepping out of the batter's box, now gets back in. Travis Painter ready. The next pitch is a fastball just a little bit off the outside edge. Mulcahy squared as if to bunt. Barkus at third base came charging in. Mulcahy pulled the bat back and took it outside. Corey Conklin is shortstop, pulled over a little bit towards second base and deep. Ricky Muzzy very deep at short, out on the outfield grass. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Man, he had a rip at it. And the count evens up now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mulcahy had 1 home run on the year. He was going for it that time, though. Man, he was trying to go downtown. 2-2 the count. Painter ready. Next pitch, fastball off the outside edge. And the count runs full on Mulcahy. Mulcahy, his right foot just outside the batter's box. Now gets back in. Painter ready, the 3-2 pitch. There's a line drive going into right field. It's going to go all the way down into the corner. Mulcahy on his way to second base. Trevor Huddleston comes up with the ball, gets it into the cutoff man. A one-out double off the bat of Bryce Mulcahy. So Lane with a runner in scoring position here in the top half of the second inning. And Jimmy McDonald, the catcher, will step in. Trevor Huddleston with good running speed got on that ball quickly when it first headed down toward the corner. I thought Mulcahy may have a chance at a triple. Another left-handed batter for the Lane Titans. Well, they've really got it stacked against the right-hander Travis Painter. Mulcahy gets his lead out at second base. Here comes the pitch. There's a ball chopped to the right side. Muzzy fields cleanly, throws to first. Records the out there, scored 4-3 on the play. Mulcahy makes it to third base. So Lane with the potential leading run 90 feet away with two men down, and yet another left-handed batter steps in, Colton Sakamoto, hitting .288 on the year with one home run. Left fielder Steve Robinson plays over fairly close to the line. In fact, they shade him to the left side of the outfield. The first pitch right on the outside edge for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Painter pitching from the stretch with two men down and the runner on third base. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ball hit by the mound, fielded by the shortstop Conklin. In behind the bag at second to throw to first. Pulls Cameron Campbell off the bag, but he manages to apply the tag. And that'll do it for Lane here in the top half of the second. No runs on one hit. We move to the bottom half of the second inning. Scoreless, Lane and Lower Columbia.
Nestled within tall trees and beautiful buildings, Pierce College has established itself as a national leader in improving student success. With two main campuses in Puyallup and Fort Steilacoom, and satellite campuses on Joint Base Lewis-McChord, Pierce College strives to create quality educational opportunities to help students realize their possibilities. As we celebrate 50 years in the community, Pierce College is proud to offer more than 60 programs of study with a fit for you, your life, your schedule, and your dream. Find your path, start at Pierce College today, and realize your possibilities. Visit pierce.ctc.edu.
Providing exceptional service. On to the bottom half of the second inning. Kyle Keith will face the numbers 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the lineup for the Red Devils. Jordan Barkus, Kyle Sandstrom, and Trevor Huddleston. Barkus hitting .333 on the year with 2 home runs. Young guy played at McNary High School down in Kaiser, Oregon, down in the Salem area. Put together a solid year, coming back after an injury year last year in which he sat out all year and redshirted. First pitch, swing and a miss at a fastball, and the count is 0-1. Keith ready, the 0-1 pitch, called a strike right at the knees on the outside edge. Nice pitch by Kyle Keith. And quickly 2 strikes on Jordan Barkus. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, lined foul. Third base side over the dugout. Count remains 0-2. Keith ready. 0-2 pitch. There's a ground ball to the right side, fielded by the first baseman, flips to the pitcher covering, so one man down. Here in the bottom half of the second, score at 3-1 covering, and that'll bring in Kyle Sandstrom.
Lower Columbia center fielder, number 8, Kyle
Sandstrom, Red Devils center fielder, hitting .326 with no home runs. Out of Ferndale, way up near Bellingham. The first pitch is in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Keith working very quickly, at least with nobody on base. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, down low. Of course, we've seen some pitchers in this tournament that work quickly with nobody on base, and then when somebody's on base, they work at a snail's pace. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, going to be a little outside, ball 2, 2-1 the count. Still the stiff breeze blowing in over the left field fence here at Story Field. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, very high, ball 3, 3-1 the count. Yesterday's ball game was supposed to have started at 5:35, but because the ball game immediately preceding went over 5 hours, 15 innings, we didn't get started till around 8:30. And boy, that temperature had really dropped, and a lot of Red Devil fans had come in shorts and short sleeve shirts. There's a pitch fouled off, count full on Kyle Sandstrom. And by the time we actually got a chance to play the game, that temperature had dropped from the mid-80s, probably down around to about 60 degrees, and a lot of people actually chose to just go home and either listen or watch from the comfort of their home. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Chopped, big high chopper right side, fielded, and they're going to call it a foul ball or a fair ball. They're going to record the out. Kyle Sandstrom thought it was a foul ball, and he didn't even attempt to run up the first base line. Now Eddie Smith is coming out to question the home plate umpire, Chris Claflin. Colin Price, the first base umpire, made the call that he was out. Kyle Sandstrom, thinking it was a foul ball all the way, did not even run up the first base line. The discussion between Eddie Smith and home plate umpire Chris Claflin continues. This is not a call that can be reviewed by video. Eddie's not going to win the discussion. So with 2 men down, that'll bring in Trevor Huddleston. So score that last out. 1-3 is the pitcher. Kyle Keith fielded that big chopper. And in steps Huddleston, a .287 hitter on the year. Trevor has 1 home run. Young Matt out of Woodland. Here comes the pitch, a fastball. Down low, ball 1. Should Trevor get aboard, Chase Hodgkinson is in the on-deck circle. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. Rides inside, ball 2, 2-0 the count. 3:06 down the left field line, 3:26 down the right field line. Next pitch, breaking ball down low, ball 3. 3:42 to left center, 3:87 to dead center. To hit a home run, you have to put it on the roof of a 2-story batting barn. 3:54 to right center. There's the next pitch, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Trevor Huddleston. And Kyle Keith, whose control had been pretty much spot on through the first 5 batters he faced, issues the 4-pitch walk to Huddleston. With 2 men down, Chase Hodgkinson, a .346 hitter on the year with no home runs, will step in. Chase, a switch hitter out of Melbourne, Australia. Here comes the pitch. Down low, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Chase started out the year kind of slow at the plate, and boy, once he got on a roll, he really hiked that average. And as I mentioned, he's sitting at .346 right now, and just about everything he hits hard. 2-0 the count on the left-hander out of Australia. So 6 straight balls by Kyle Keith. There's a snap throw over to first base. Huddleston dives back in ahead of it. Hud being held over there by Tony Ortiz, the first baseman. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Right on the outside edge for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. Steve Robinson is in the on-deck circle for the Red Devils. There was some question as to whether or not Robbie be able to play today. Fouled one off his foot last night and actually came out of the ball game and was in a fair amount of discomfort, but he's in the lineup today. There's the 2-1 pitch. There's a fly ball down the left field line. Slicing foul. Count 2-2 on Hodgkinson. Outfield plays him straight away. Trevor Huddleston, who was off with the crack of the bat, makes his way back to first base. Kyle Keith continues to work from the first base side of the pitching rubber. Has a sign he wants from his catcher, Jimmy McDonald. Comes set. Long hesitation, now he delivers. There's a chopper to the left side. Cazares, the shortstop, fields, throws to first in time to get Hodgkinson, and that'll do it for the Red Devils here in the bottom of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, one left. We've played two. We're scoreless, Lane and Lower Columbia.
LCC has definitely prepared me to transfer to Oregon State because it's helped me with my study skills. I'm a much harder worker than I was in high school.
I had a great support base by the staff, and I've made some great friends that I think I'll carry on with my life.
I've definitely loved my classes. I've learned a lot. It's been a healthy environment.
Don't be afraid to branch out. The people here are awesome. I'm going to be in it for a while, but down the road I'll be finishing up and be ready to join the workforce.
The first day of school is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you, for them, Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
Like it never even happened. Boone Cazares, the number 8 hitter in the lineup, will lead it off for Lane against Travis Painter. He'll be followed by Henry Lovecamp and then Hank Forrest. Painter ready, the first pitch, a little bit low, ball 1, 1-0 the count. Middle infielders play very deep back on the cut of the outfield grass. There's the 1-0 pitch. It's in there for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Outfield shaded around a little bit to the left for the left-handed hitting Cazares, who's hitting .222 on the year with no home runs. 1-1 pitch, check swing, takes it high, 2-1 the count. Cazares, a 6'2 sophomore, out of Fall Creek, Oregon. Went to Lowell High School. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. There's a chopper up the first base line, just foul. Gets beyond the glove of Cameron Campbell in foul territory and going to make its way on down toward the corner. Going to be chased down by one of the Red Devils. I think that was Taylor Davis chasing it down. Second baseman Ricky Muzzy takes a step toward first base. There's a ground ball right to Muzzy, right to where he moved. He only had to take about a step to his left after he shaded over towards first base. So again, that positioning by the Lower Columbia College coaching staff, just about every pitch. So Cazares is out 4-3, and with one man down, that'll bring in Henry Lovecamp, the third baseman. Lovecamp, a 181 hitter on the year, and Josh Blunt has just loaded the lineup with left-handers this afternoon against the right-hander Travis Painter. Lovecamp, freshman out of Chimacum, up on the peninsula in Washington State. First pitch, a little high ball one, 1-0 the count. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a ball hit to the right side. Ricky Muzzy ranging far to his left, comes up with it. The throw to first is in time. Boy, we had to wait on the first base umpire down there, Colin Price. I think he wanted to make sure he had a good look at it. Ricky Muzzy, as you can see on the replay there, had to go deep in the hole in behind first base and managed to get that throw off to Cameron Campbell. Josh Blunt is going to come out and have a quick talk with first base umpire Colin Price. And it's a cordial discussion. There you see the replay, and boy, the replay, he was safe. He had it beat by about a stride. And Josh is not going to win that argument, but I'll tell you what, Henry Lovecamp had legged that one out. So score at 4-3 here. 2 men down now in the top half of the third, so a break for the Red Devils, and we go back to the top of the order for Hank Forrest. Forrest bounced out to Cameron Campbell unassisted the first time up. Campbell drops back defensively now behind the bag. Here comes the pitch. First pitch on the outside edge for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Outfield straight away for Hank Forrest. Out of Churchill High School down in Eugene. There's a swing and a foul tip in and out of the glove of Chase Hodgkinson. Chase going to throw the ball back, had the ball slip out of his hand, and it went about 3 feet and bounced. No balls, 2 strikes, the count on Hank Forrest. Should he get aboard, Jaden Hanna is in the on-deck circle, and that wind picking up ever more here at Story Field. Here comes the next pitch. Slow curve ball, stays outside, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes on Hank Forrest. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a line drive headed into right field. Trevor Huddleston in and over to his right, makes the one-handed grab, and that'll do it for the Titans here in the top half of the third. They go 3 up, 3 down. We move on to the bottom half of the third. Lane, nothing. Lower Columbia, nothing.
Ready for a new adventure? Study at Douglas College in Vancouver, Canada. Take a post-degree program and launch your career, or prepare to study at top Canadian universities. Become eligible for a 3-year work visa with a 2-year program. Choose success. Choose Douglas College.
Look, baseball's a numbers game. A 570-foot home run at age 15, 31 homers in 66 games, first front cover at 16, #1 overall draft pick, majors at 19. Over 100 home runs is 34. On-base percentage at 340, then 368, then 460. 4-time All-Star, beating 9.2 million ballots, 30 out of 30 MVP votes, chasing 762, 4256, 2297, 3562. You're 220 at age 23. But kid, just remember, no number sounds as good as this.
Service. Move to the bottom half of the third, no score. Lane Titans, Lower Columbia College Red Devils, down to the final 3 teams of the 2017 NWAC Baseball Championships. Hey, how about the Mariners? They mixed in a win today, 5-0 over the Boston Red Sox. Had 15 hits today, too. That was kind of nice to see. Carlos Ruiz, backup catcher, had 3 hits today. Good for him. Steve Robinson will step in to lead it off for his first plate appearance against Kyle Keith. The first pitch down low, ball 1. Steve, a left-handed batter out of Yuba City, California. There's the next pitch, fastball, sails outside, 2-0 the count. Robinson to be followed by Corey Conklin and Ricky Muzzy. Kyle Keith ready. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. There's a ground ball left side, and nice diving stop out there by the shortstop Caceres. Throws kind of from his knees and can't quite get enough on it to get Steve Robinson at first base. So it's going to be an infield single, but not for lack of effort by Boone Caceres. Look at that replay. My goodness gracious. And he made it a fairly close play at first. Terrific effort by Caceres, but Robinson is aboard with an infield single. Good work by the Topher Vision camera crew there. Corey Conklin steps in. Corey's had a good tournament. Left-handed batter out of Corvallis, Oregon, hitting .278 on the year coming into today's action. Squares to bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes a pitch for a called strike. Not sure Corey liked that call too much. Thought it was maybe a little bit outside. Steps out of the batter's box. Now gets back in, wide open stance for the tall, lanky left-hander. Next pitch, bunted, big chopper out toward the mound, fielded by the pitcher Kyle Keith. His only plate at first base. Had to wait for the ball to come down. So the sacrifice is successful by Corey Conklin. Score at 1-2-3. And we go back to the top of the order for Ricky Muzzy. On the play, Steve Robinson moves on into second base, so he's in scoring position with one man down. Muzzy singled to lead off the ball game, but then was picked off at first. .340 hitter on the year. Keith ready, delivers a fastball, a little bit high, ball 1, 1-0 the count. JT Strickler is in the on-deck circle for the Red Devils. Keith checks the runner out at second, delivers fastball down low. 2-0 the count on Mr. Muzzy. Ricky back in after he getting the sign from third base coach Eric Lane. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Check swing, takes it on the inside edge for a called strike. And the count now 2-1. Third baseman Henry Lovekamp plays very deep and off the line. Outfield straightaway. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Curveball circles the plate. 3-1 the count. Some of the Lane faithful thought that should have been a strike, but from my vantage point, now I'm off to the right of home plate just a little bit. It looked like it did circle the plate. Again, the umpiring has really been very consistent throughout the tournament. Kyle Keith steps off the pitching rubber, takes a look at Steve Robinson out there at second base. Now gets back up on top. Here's the 3-1 pitch, hit right back through the middle, and it's off the glove of the shortstop into center field. Here comes Robinson around third. Throw to the plate is up the line, not in time, and sliding into second base on the throw to the plate is Ricky Muzzy. It got off the glove of the shortstop Caceres going hard to his left. I'll assume it's going to be a base hit. It is in fact a base hit. Good attempt by Boone Caceres. So Ricky Muzzy delivers the RBI single. Coming in to score is Steve Robinson from second base.
Number 10, J.T.
And that'll bring in J.T. Strickler. J.T. struck out looking back in the first. Here comes the pitch, down low, ball 1, 1-0 the count. If there is such a thing as a slump for JT, you'd maybe say he's in it, as he didn't get a hit last night. He was aboard a couple times on bases on balls, but from yesterday into today, hasn't gotten a hit yet, so with a .378 batting average, I guess for him that would constitute a slump. Redshirted last year due to medical injury and ran the score clock most of the year up in the press box, helping us up here, and got to know him really well, and he is really a nice young man. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a soft ground ball headed out toward the second baseman, Hanna. Going to be a tough play. Throw to first in time to get J.T. Strickler. Good hustle by Jaden Hanna at second base. On the play, Ricky Muzzy moves on down into third base. With 2 men down, in steps Cameron Campbell. Campbell, a .283 hitter on the year with 7 home runs out of Ellensburg. Right-handed batter, trying to pick up Ricky Muzzy 90 feet away, down at third base. There's the pitch, curveball, down low, ball 1. Red Devils on top 1-0 here in the bottom half of the third, and trying to add another as Ricky Muzzy down at third base. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Down low. Ball 2. 2-0 the count. Jordan Barkus in the on-deck circle. Campbell steps out of the box. Now gets back in, taps the plate. Takes a practice cut. Kyle Keith ready. The 2-0 pitch is a curveball that drops in nicely for a called strike. Good sharp break to it. Lane has not fashioned their solid season with the bats. It's been pitching and defense. The 2-1 pitch, chopped at the plate, foul. Campbell just did get a piece of it, and the count moves to 2-2. Cameron chokes up on that bat handle now ever so slightly. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Check swing down low. Good stop by the catcher, Jimmy McDonald. And he's going to ask for a new baseball and gets one. Full count now on Campbell. Left fielder Colton Sakamoto plays deep. Wind shifting around a little bit right now from left to right. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. There's a ball sliced over by the first base dugout. Count remains full on Campbell, just trying to protect the plate. Kyle Keith pitching from the stretch with 2 men down. Campbell calls time and steps out. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Up high, ball 4. Good at bat by Cameron Campbell. So he's aboard. Runners on first and third with 2 men down, and Jordan Barkus will step in, and Josh Blunt going to go to the mound and have a quick word with Kyle Keith. Nobody throwing down in the bullpen.
1958, Kelch properties like the Canterbury's and Delaware Plaza have offered independent and assisted living for seniors.
In the meantime, third base coach Eric Lane is going to come down and be joined by head coach Eddie Smith as they talk to Jordan Barkus. So perhaps they picked up something in the delivery from Kyle Keith that they're trying to convey right now. Now Jordan Barkus makes his way toward the batter box, and Eddie and Eric had a few extra words right there as they strategize. Eric making his way back down now toward the third base coaching box. Eric out of Port Angeles and was a solid player here at Lower Columbia a few years back, and then went on and played a couple more years over at Gonzaga.
Third baseman, number 3.
Barkus steps in. Cameron Campbell, the runner, at first. Ricky Muzzy, the runner, at third with 2 men down. Here's the pitch. He squares to bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes it outside, ball 1. 1-0 the count. And boy, the way third baseman Henry Lovekamp is playing, I mean, he is very deep. it really does open up an opportunity for Vargas. Now, Lovecamp comes up even with the bag at third, so perhaps thinking that Vargas might lay down a bunt. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Does not show bunt this time and takes the pitch up high and outside, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Jordan, after stepping out of the batter's box, gets back in. Keith ready. There's a toss over to first base. Campbell, who had a short lead, dives back in. Cameron, not the fastest runner on the team, and he knows his limitations. He doesn't get out there too far. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3-0 the count. I've never asked if Cameron Campbell was maybe a linebacker in football. He's a pretty solidly built young guy. Kyle Keith ready for the 3-0 pitch. Here it comes. It's high. Ball 4. So the bases are loaded now with 2 men down. And a chance for the Red Devils to do some serious damage here as Kyle Sandstrom will step in. And Kyle, you might remember in his first and only time up, hit a chopper that he thought was a foul ball. The pitcher fielded it about halfway down the first base line and just easily tossed to the first baseman. Kyle did not even break towards first base. There's the first pitch. It's a fastball right on the outside edge for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Kyle Keith continuing to pitch from the stretch. Here comes the next pitch. This one's a little bit outside, ball 1. 1-1 the count. Muzzy the runner at third, Campbell the runner at second. Vargas the runner at first. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off to the left of home plate. And the count now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chase Hodgkinson will chase the ball down over toward the third base dugout. Kyle Keith comes set, checks the runner out at second. The 1-2 pitch, curveball, swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Kyle Keith. Minimizes damage, but the Red Devils come up with 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. 3 left. We've played 3. The score: Lower Columbia 1, Lane nothing.
I absolutely love the culture of C of I. I think that it promotes excellence in students in every way. It pushes people to be just generally good, kind people. I really love how the P curriculum pushes students academically. You can be involved in student government, you can be involved in res life, you can be involved in sports, and kind of explore what kind of person you are and kind of how you will fit into the world after you graduate. I'm Ellen Campbell, and that's why I chose C of I. On to the 4th inning. Travis Painter will face the numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the lineup for the Lane Titans. Red Devils now leading 1-0 as they plated a run in the bottom half of the 3rd. They now have 1 run on 3 hits. Lane, no runs on 1 hit.
Hannah skied to left field his first time up, left-handed batter. Here comes the pitch. In there for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Hannah, a 5'6" freshman out of Westview High School. Hometown Portland. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 1. I believe Westview High School is out actually in the Hillsboro area. 1-1 the count on Hannah, to be followed by Tony Ortiz and Thomas Radinsky. Here comes the pitch, fouled back into the screen. Count now 1-2 on Hannah, hitting .228 on the year. Hannah's a freshman. Just looking at the number of guys from Idaho Falls on the roster. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, chopped by the mound. Muzzy charging and can't quite make the transfer from his glove to his throwing hand. And we'll check and see. Going to give him a base hit. Would have been a tough play for Ricky Muzzy. So an infield single for Jaden Hannah, and there you see the replay, and Ricky was going to have to really make the quick transfer there and just couldn't quite complete it. So infield single, and that'll bring in Tony Ortiz. Chase Hodgkinson going to go out and have a quick word with Travis Painter here. The visit continues. Both players walk up on the top of the slope, and Chase going to come back now behind the dish. Chase setting the defense now here.
First baseman number 29, Tony Ortiz.
Dangerous hitter stepping in for the Lane Titans. Tony Ortiz, a .322 hitter on the year with 3 home runs. Tony out of Timberline High School up in Lacey. Talking earlier today in the press box here, don't understand why South Puget Sound Community College up in the Olympia area does not have a baseball team. There's a snap throw over to first base. The runner Jaden Hannah gets back. Dave Andrew mentioned they've fired up the softball team a couple of different times only to close it down. Maybe lack of a playing facility, not sure. Lovely campus up there. Headed out towards the Black Lake area. There's a snap throw over again. Getting back standing is Jaden Hannah. Of course, South Puget Sound had a pretty good baseball team this year, winning the West Region Championship. Eddie Smith going to go out and have a quick word with Travis Painter. And again, most of Travis's starts were early in the year. And over the last part of the year, he's pitched primarily, in fact, almost exclusively in relief. And so I would imagine, yep, they're going to go down and get it. They're going to go down to the bullpen. So they probably asked him if he thought he had anything left in the tank. And because these outings have been primarily 2 to 3 innings over the last couple months of the season, he probably is on E. And he gets a nice round of applause as he leaves the ball game. So we're going to get a new pitcher. We'll step away for 1 minute. We'll be back. We're playing in the top half of the 4th. The score, Lower Columbia 1, Lane nothing.
LCC has definitely prepared me to transfer to Oregon State because it's helped me with my study skills. I'm a much harder worker than I was in high school.
I had a great support base by the staff, and I've made some great friends that I think I'll carry on with my life.
I've definitely loved my classes. I've learned a lot. It's been a healthy environment.
don't be afraid to branch out. The people here are awesome. I'm going to be in it for a while, but down the road I'll be finishing up and be ready to join the workforce.
Looking for a challenge? Push yourself further. It begins when you enlist as a soldier in the U.S. Army. You'll be trained in one of more than 150 career fields and could even earn money for college if you qualify. To find out more, visit your local Army recruiter or log on to goarmy.com. Anthony Garcia is the new pitcher for the Red Devils. He is a right-hander. He's a sophomore in terms of eligibility with a record of 2-0, earned run average of 2.46, and he is a right-hander that can sling it up there pretty good. Hanna gets his lead over at first base. Garcia to face the left-handed hitting Tony Ortiz. Here comes the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. High heat that time from Garcia. Garcia throws a little harder than Travis Painter does. I'm sure Eddie would love to see Garcia be able to eat up some innings here. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball outside, and the count is 1-1. Garcia. Or check that. Is Garcia or Gomez? It is Garcia, 6'3", right-hander out of Happy Valley, Oregon. Went to Clackamas High School. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. At a fastball on the outside edge. And the count is 1-2. Garcia, very fast worker, even with runners on base. I mean, he throws the baseball, and I mean, he receives the ball almost on the pitching rubber. Right-hander has a look over his shoulder at the runner over at first, Hanna. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Just outside. Some of the Red Devil faithful groan, and you can hear them in the background. 2-2 the count now on Tony Ortiz. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Outside ball 3. Count runs full now on Ortiz. Anthony takes a walk down the backside of the slope, now gets back up on top. Peers down to his catcher Hodgkinson. Here comes the pitch. The runner goes. Ball 4 outside. So Tony Ortiz draws the base on balls. Lane with action here in the top half of the 4th. Runners on first and second with nobody down. And that'll bring in Thomas Radinsky.
Designated hitter number 17, Thomas Radinsky.
Radinsky, one of the few right-handed batters in the lineup for Lane today. Freshman out of Lincoln High School in Portland. Hitting .211 on the year with no home runs. He squares already around as if to bunt. Takes the first pitch. It's a fastball up high, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Garcia having a long look down to his catcher for the sign. Here comes the pitch. Once again, up high, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Chase Hodgkinson steps out in front of the plate and hollers out and says, hey, settle down, settle down. Jordan Barkus now going to come in and have a quick word with Anthony. On the year, he had 10 bases on balls, struck out 16. That in 25 innings of work. On occasion, the plate jumps around on Anthony a little bit, but nobody questions his stuff. There's the next pitch. It's a fastball poured in for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. Steps off the rubber, now steps back up on, working from the first base side. Radinsky squares again, gets down into a deep crouch. Here comes the pitch. There's a bunt attempt, and he misses it, and the count now runs 2-2 on Radinsky. Middle infielders looking for the double play. Jordan Barkus plays even with the bag at third. Cameron Campbell up on the infield grass. There's the next pitch. It's a fastball. Comes all the way to the backstop. A wild pitch on Anthony Garcia. And now Corey Conklin, the shortstop, is going to come in and have a quick word of encouragement for Mr. Garcia. So Lane with runners on second and third. Nobody down, and the count full on Thomas Radinsky, and head coach Eddie Smith out in front of the Red Devil dugout. Holler and encouragement out to Anthony Garcia. Still got some fans actually making their way into the stadium. The crowd has kind of grown some since first pitch. Here comes a 3-2 pitch. There's a soft fly ball headed into left field. Corey Conklin goes back and leaps and makes the catch. The runner from third gonna break, and the throw gets cut off on the way home. Corey couldn't put much on of it because he went back and made the leaping grab and kind of fell to the turf, and so left him in kind of a bad way to make a strong throw. And there you see the replay on Topher Vision as he falls to his knee and actually throws from his knees. So the runner from third, Hannah, broke home and scored, and we are tied at 1. Eddie Smith out talking to the home plate umpire, Chris Claflin, and not sure what he's talking about. Started to step away, and now he makes his way back and resumes the discussion. Eddie standing there with his arms folded. So Radinsky gets an RBI on the soft fly ball into shallow left field that Corey Conklin chases down. Hannah scores on the play, on the throw to the plate. The runner from first, Tony Ortiz, takes second base. Eddie's had his say and makes his way back toward the first base dugout. So with one man down, we've got a runner on second, and Bryce Mulcahy will step in. Mulcahy hit a shot down into the right field corner for a double back in the second inning. Ricky Muzzy deep at second base. Campbell a few steps behind the bag, now comes up even. There's a bunt attempt, a drag bunt, fouled off toward the first base dugout, and the count is 1 strike on the left-handed hitting Bryce Mulcahy. The wind blowing pretty much straight in from left field, and again blowing at a pretty good pace. Game about an hour and 5 minutes old. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, or 0-1 pitch rather, fouled over into the first base dugout, fielded nicely by one of the Red Devils over there. And the count quickly 2 strikes on Mulcahy. Jimmy McDonald is in the on-deck circle for the Titans. Tied at 1 in the top half of the 4th. Red Devils would love to win this game and force Lane to play Everett tomorrow in the first ball game. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. There's a fly ball headed into left center field. The center fielder Sandstrom moves over and makes the catch. I think he maybe thought there were 3 down as he kind of started to run in, but Corey Conklin sticks the hands up and receives the throw coming back in. So 2 men down now. Sandstrom was perfectly positioned, and that'll bring in Jimmy McDonald. McDonald bounced to the second baseman his first time up. 216 hitter on the year out of Davis High School in Yakima. Garcia in relief of Travis Painter. Checks the runner out at second. Long hesitation, now he steps off the rubber. As the runner out at second, Tony Ortiz, was starting to get a pretty good lead. Conklin pulled over toward the bag at second base now. Plays deep. Here comes the pitch. A fastball poured in there for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Garcia has good movement on his fastball. It tails back away from a left-handed batter. Got a couple of Red Devils standing down in the bullpen area. There's the next pitch, a breaking ball down and in. Gets away from the catcher, Hodgkinson, and on the play, Tony Ortiz is going to scoot on into third base. A wild pitch by Anthony Garcia handcuffed his catcher, Chase Hodgkinson. So Ortiz 90 feet away with a potential go-ahead run. And the count is 1-1 on Jimmy McDonald. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a ball hit left side, fielded by Barkas. Throw to first in time. Barkas was playing way off the bag. Again, well positioned defensively, and that'll do it for Lane here in the top of the fourth. But to come up with one run on one hit, one runner left onto the bottom half of the fourth. The score, Lane 1, Lower Columbia 1.
People often ask, what is it you do? I'm an Idaho Army National Guard soldier. But then again, it's not that simple. You see, I'm more than a weekend warrior. It's a continuous effort every day. Yeah, there's extremely long hours, but it's worth it. I love my job. It's like anything else. My profession is whatever I want to make of it. I get to do the incredible things most people dream of. The men and women I serve with are dedicated to being a premier force. It's amazing when you see my entire unit work together. When push comes to shove and we receive that order, we put steel on target. I'm always ready to be called upon to serve our nation. But in the meantime, I train.
Present. Oh!
I serve and protect my neighbors while defending their right to freedom. I'm an Idaho community asset that stands among our citizens. The boundaries I once thought I had are continuously tested and broadened. So there you have it. People will not always know who I am or what I do. But that's all right, because I do.
On to the bottom half of the fourth inning. And Trevor Huddleston will step in. There's a ground ball left side through into left field. First pitch swinging. Trevor Huddleston is aboard with a single. That is the fourth hit of the ball game for the Red Devils. And that'll bring in Chase Hodgkinson. Looking for a challenge? Push yourself further. It begins when you enlist as a soldier in the U.S. Army. You'll be trained in one of more than 150 career fields and could even earn money for college if you qualify. To find out more, visit your local Army recruiter or log on to goarmy.com. Hodgkinson bounced to the shortstop, his first time up. Batting from the left-handed side, he is a switch hitter. The first pitch is down low, ball one. 1-0 the count. Kyle Keith has gone all the way for Lane. Travis Painter started the ball game for the Red Devils and worked into the fourth and then was relieved by Anthony Garcia. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, right at the knees on the outside edge for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Outfield straight away for Chase. Huddleston gets his lead over at first base, a good lead. There's a toss over to first base, and he dives back in safely. Olympic College is nationally recognized by the Aspen Institute as a 2015 Top 10 community college because their programs help students get good-paying jobs. Get busy learning at olympic.edu. Keith ready, the 1-1 pitch. Down low, ball 2, 2-1 the count. Keith taking a little more time now with a runner on base. Works quickly with the bases empty. Huddleston again gets that lead over at first. There's a toss over there once again. Fans, be sure to check out the NWAC on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all the latest NWAC news. Also visit nwacsports.org for the most recent information on schedules, scores, stats, and more. Keith ready, the 2-1 pitch. Lifted foul off to the left of home plate. Count evens up at 2-2 now on the young guy out of Australia. Takes a stroll off to the right of home plate. Looks down the third base line at third base coach Eric Lane. Kind of adjusts his jersey a little bit. Now gets in. There's a toss over to first again. Close play over there, but Huddleston back in safely. Huddleston with good speed. Five stolen bases on the year for Hud. Keith taking a little more time than Chase Hodgkinson likes. So Chase steps out. Now he gets back in. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Up high, breaking ball. Count runs full on Chase. Steve Robinson on deck for the Red Devils. Red Devils got their 1 run in the bottom of the 3rd. Lane got the equalizer in the top half of the 4th. 1 run on 4 hits for the Devils, 1 run on 2 hits for Lane. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Down low, ball 4. Chase Hodgkinson was waiting on the umpire to make sure it was going to be called ball 4, and he waited actually quite a while. In fact, it is ball 4, so the Red Devils have runners on first and second with nobody down.
Left fielder, number 5, Steve Robinson.
And in steps Steve Robinson. Robinson singled in the 3rd and scored the Red Devils' lone run. Here comes the pitch. Down low, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Third baseman Lovecamp plays even with the bag. Middle infielder is pinched toward the second base bag. Keith, after rubbing up the baseball on the backside of the slope, now gets back up on top. Checks the runner out at second. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a ground ball left side. Diving stop by the shortstop, and they get the lead runner down at 3rd. That was just a big-time play by Boone Caceres, diving to his right to knock that ball down, and they get Trevor Huddleston on his way from 2nd to 3rd, and there you see the replay on Topher Vision. And boy, that was a close play at 3rd, but they did get him. So a fielder's choice for Steve Robinson. So he's aboard at first, and on the play, Hodgkinson moves into 2nd. And that'll bring in Corey Conklin. Corey laid down a sacrifice bunt. Back into 3rd. The first pitch is on the outside edge for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Corey steps out of the batter's box, now gets back in. Jaden Hanna, the second baseman, holding. Runner out there tight. That's Hodgkinson. Next pitch breaks down, and the count is 1-1 on Corey Conklin. Leadoff man Ricky Muzzy is in the on-deck circle for the Red Devils. Runners on first and second, 1 man down. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Just a little bit outside. Count now 2-1 on Corey. Going to play at Eastern Kentucky next year. They're getting themselves a mighty fine shortstop. Corey, big deep breath out of the batter's box, shrugs his shoulders, now gets back in. Kyle Keith ready. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fouled behind the plate. Count evens up at 2-2. Last night, looked like Corey was kind of favoring his right knee a little bit. He was kind of rubbing it and kind of flexing his leg a little bit, but not seeing any signs of that so far today. Kyle Keith leans down, has a sign he wants from his catcher, Jimmy McDonald. Looks a couple times to the runner at second, delivers. Once again, the pitch fouled back into the screen behind the plate. Count remains 2-2 on Conklin. JT Strickler chases the ball down, throws it out of play. Keith, ready, the 2-2 pitch. Fouled. Up and out of play, third base side. Count remains 2-2. Conklin making Keith work hard. Here with one man down in the bottom half of the fourth. Red Devils hoping to push across a run and regain the lead. Right fielder Mulcahy plays pretty well off the line. If Corey can turn on one, they can run a long time. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball down in the strike zone. So Corey down on strikes. And with two men down, we'll go back to the top of the order for Ricky Muzzy, who's been perfect today so far, has a pair of singles in 2 plate appearances. Wind has kind of shifted around a little bit right now and blowing a little bit from right to left. Here comes the pitch, curveball, in for a called strike. Nice curveball that time by Kyle Keith, had a good bite to it. Keith has a sign he wants. Here comes the pitch. Curveball stays inside. Count evens up at 1-1. Hodgkinson, the runner at second. Steve Robinson, the runner at first. Trevor Huddleston led off the inning with a single, but then was later forced at third on a fine play by the shortstop Boone Caceres. There's a ball hit right back to the mound, fielded by Kyle Keith, throws underhanded to the first baseman Tony Ortiz, and that'll do it for the Red Devils here in the bottom of the fourth. No runs on one hit. We've played 4. The score, Lane 1, Lower Columbia 1.
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
School is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you, for them, Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
And Anthony Garcia, in relief of Travis Painter, will face Colton Sakamoto, Boone Caceres, and Henry Lovekamp, the bottom third of the Lane batting order, and the first pitch is up high, ball 1. Garcia working from the first base side of the pitching rubber. The 1-0 pitch lifted foul, up and out of play, third base side. Count evens up at 1-1. Ricky Muzzy plays deep at second base. Trevor Huddleston pretty deep in right field. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Lifted in the air, center field. Sandstrom drifts a little bit over into left center field, makes the catch. One man down here in the top half of the fifth.
Shortstop, number 12.
And that'll bring in Boone Caceres. Caceres has, so far today, pretty much been all world out there at shortstop with several diving stops, hitting .222 on the year. Left-handed batter. 6'2" sophomore. There's the pitch. A fastball just a little bit outside. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. Garcia. Glove up in front of his face. Peers over the top. Next pitch. Fastball. Poured in there for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Sandstrom pulled over a few steps into left center field. Caceres adjusting his batting gloves. Ready, gets in. Here's the 1-1 pitch, fouled back into the screen, and the count now 1-2. And again, steps out of the batter's box to adjust those gloves. Garcia up on top, ready, and I guarantee you the instant he gets back in the batter's box and gets squared up, Garcia is going to be coming to the plate, and he is. The 1-2 pitch, just a little bit outside, 2-2 the count on Boone Caceres. Caceres has pitched in this tournament as well. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Inside corner, called strike 3, and Caceres kind of turns and looks at the umpire, but that ball tailed back away from the left-handed hitting Caceres across the inside edge. So a strikeout for Anthony Garcia. 2 men down now, and that'll bring in Henry Lovecamp, the third baseman. Lovecamp bounced to Ricky Muzzy back in the third inning. Here's the first pitch, right on the outside edge for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Garcia is about as fast a worker as I've seen. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. A bunt attempt, he misses, and the count is 0-2. I'm just guessing that Anthony Garcia was a little bit hyper as a young kid. Right-hander looks over the top of his glove down to his catcher, Chase Hodgkinson. Lovecamp kind of trying to destroy his rhythm. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball down and in, and the count is 1-2. Lovecamp, 1 foot out of the batter's box. Now gets ready to get back in. Garcia ready. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. A check swing just a little bit outside, and they ask the third base umpire if he went, and they say he did not. And the count is 2-2 on Henry. Should he get aboard, the leadoff hitter, Hank Forrest, is in the on-deck circle. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Down low, ball 3, 3-2 the count. Garcia goes down the backside of the slope and tucks in the front part of his jersey. Still working on it a little bit. Now he's ready back up on top. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. There's a ball chopped to the right side, going to make its way into right field for a base hit, just beyond the glove of the diving Ricky Muzzy. Trevor Huddleston up with it, gets it back in. So Lovecamp, a 2-out single here in the top half of the 5th inning. And we go back to the top of the order for Hank Forrest.
Top of the batting order for Lane, center fielder.
Forrest bounced to Cameron Campbell at first base unassisted in the first, and then lined out to the right fielder Trevor Huddleston in the third. Lovecamp gets his lead over at first base, being held on there by Cameron Campbell. Jordan Barkus well off the bag at third. Here comes the pitch, inside ball 1, 1-0 the count. Outfield basically straight away. Medium depth. Here comes the pitch. There's a ground ball foul up the first base side. Count evens up at 1-1. You're listening to NWAC Championship Baseball on 1490 KLOG Kelso Longview, KLOG.com, and you are watching on Topher Vision. Can't say enough about the good job Chris Garrad and the Topher Vision crew have done here all weekend long. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Up high, ball 2. 2-1 the count. Corey Conklin, the shortstop, playing in behind the bag out at second. Ricky Muzzy pulled around to the right. The runner from first goes. Throw down to second base, not going to be near in time. They stole that on Anthony Garcia. Boy, they picked up something there, and he was off to the races, and no chance for Chase Hodgkinson. And the count now 2-2 on Hank Forrest. Lovecamp with a lead out at second base. The next pitch up high, ball 3. 3-2 the count, so plate kind of moving around a little bit on Mr. Garcia. Has a look out at the runner out at second base and steps off the backside of the rubber and looks him back. Lovecamp again out there, gets his lead off second. Here comes a 3-2 pitch. Lifted in the air, left field, Robinson moving over near the foul line, makes the catch. And that'll do it for Lane here in the top half of the fifth. No runs on one hit. We move to the bottom half of the fifth. We're tied at 1, Lane and Lower Columbia.
The first day of school is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you, for them, Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
Hello, welcome to How to PSU. In today's quick session, we're going to answer some common questions about transferring to PSU. The key things to remember are: apply early, use our online resources, and advisors are your friend.
JT Strickler will step in to lead it off against Kyle Keith here in the bottom half of the fifth. He'll be followed by Cameron Campbell and Jordan Barkus. JT hitless in 2 plate appearances, struck out in the first and bounced to second in the third. The first pitch is up high to the young man out of Meridian, Idaho, and the count is 1 ball. JT serving as the designated hitter today after catching the first 3 games of the tournament. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball, down low and away. Gets away from the catcher, Jimmy McDonald, and comes toward the backstop. Going to be picked up down there by Jordan Barkus. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Inside, ball 3, 3-0 the count on Strickler. See if they green light him here with a 378 average on the year. Wouldn't necessarily surprise me. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Inside, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to J.T. Strickler, leading off the bottom half of the 5th inning. And that'll bring in Cameron Campbell.
Number 15, Cam Campbell.
Cameron bounced to third in the first and walked in the third. Right-handed batter. Strickler being held over at first by Tony Ortiz. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball down low. Good stop by the catcher McDonald. And the count is 1 ball on Cameron Campbell. Cam has a look down to Eric Lane, the third base coach. Now gets back in, taps the plate. Slightly open stance. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one's poured in there for a called strike right at the knees. Good pitch by Kyle Keith. And the count evens up at 1-1. 1 run, 4 hits for the Red Devils. 1 run, 3 hits for the Lane Titans. We are tied at 1 in the bottom half of the 5th. There's a snap throw over to first base. Diving back in is J.T. Strickler. Kyle Keith comes set. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Curveball gets away from the catcher, and on the play, J.T. Strickler is going to scoot on into second base. That's going to be a wild pitch on Kyle Keith. Handcuffed the catcher, Jimmy McDonald. It was a ball down low and away. So Strickler in scoring position with nobody down. And Cam Campbell with a count of 2-1. Second baseman Jaden Hanna continues to play deep. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, fouled up and out of play into the screen. Caught down there by Jordan Barkus as it comes off the screen. Count 2-2 now on Campbell. Outfield straight away. Keith checks the runner at second, delivers. Breaking ball down low. They ask if Campbell went. They asked for help with the first base umpire. He said he did not, and the count runs full now on Campbell. Cameron had a notion but held up on it as that curveball broke sharply down into the dirt around the plate. Keith ready. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball down low and away, ball 4. So 2 straight walks by Kyle Keith. Red Devils have runners on first and second with nobody down as they get into the meat of the lineup. And Jordan Barkus is going to stride to the plate. Jordan bounced to the first baseman, pitcher covering in the second, and walked in the third. Left-hander gets in the batter's box. Here comes the pitch. Down low and away, ball 1. In the earlier ball game today, Everett stayed alive down in Walla Walla by a score of 9-2. So we're down to the final 3 teams. These 2 teams playing right here in the Everett Trojans. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. He squares to bunt, takes it in for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Steps out of the box, now gets back in. Even stance for Jordan. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Lays down a bunt, third base line. This one's going to kick foul. Tough break. That was a good-looking bunt. And it just did kick foul, so Jordan will get back in and do it again with a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes. As he makes his way back toward the plate, Trevor Huddleston comes out of the dugout to pick up the bat and hand it to his teammate. Jordan has a practice cut before getting back in. Keith checks the runner out at second. Very short lead. There's a pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the left side of home plate. Count remains 1-2. J.T. Strickler, the runner out at second base. Cameron Campbell, the runner at first. Strickler, short lead out there at second. Now takes another stride. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Fouled. Third base line. Fouled by about 6 or 7 feet as it makes its way down the left field line. Count remains 1-2 on Jordan Marcus. Kyle Sandstrom is in the on-deck circle for the Red Devils. Jordan, after stepping in the batter's box, now steps out. Now gets back in, taps the plate. Keith, long look. Now he delivers. Up high, ball 2. 2-2 the count on Marcus. Keith taking much more time with runners on base than he does with nobody on base, as opposed to Anthony Garcia, who just works at a rapid pace regardless. Here's the 2-2 pitch, fouled up and out of play. Third base side, count remains 2-2. Marcus doing a good job just protecting the plate that time. Keith leans down, has the sign he wants from his catcher McDonald. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. So check that, fouled it off. Didn't see it come off the bat there, so the count remains 2-2 on Jordan Marcus. Just did get a piece of it. Trevor Huddleston chases the ball down behind the plate. Strickler again with a short lead out at second. There's the next pitch. There's a ball hit sharply right at the shortstop, who fields it off his shoe tops, makes the catch, and tries to double up Strickler off of second base, and JT just does get back in. Nice play out there by Boone Caceres. That ball was kind of a sinking line drive, and he went to his knees and threw the ball to the second baseman, Hanna, covering, trying to double up JT. So one man down. And in steps Kyle Sandstrom. Sandstrom 0 for 2 on the afternoon. There's a ground ball foul by the third base coach's box. And the count is 1 strike on Kyle Sandstrom. Red Devils with a chance to get the go-ahead run here. They had runners on first and second with nobody down. Now they've got runners on first and second with 1 man down. The count is 1 strike on Kyle Sandstrom. Here comes the 0-1 pitch outside. It's a fastball, and the count evens up at 1-1. Dave Andrew from down the other end of the press box says that was the 101st pitch by Kyle Keith. There's a sharp line drive right at the second baseman, who steps on the bag and doubles up JT Strickler. Tough break for Kyle Sandstrom as he smoked that ball, and it turns into a double play. So the Red Devils turned away here in the bottom of the 5th. We've played 5. We're tied 1-1.
I was looking more into playing volleyball here, and they have a very successful volleyball program. But also, I didn't want to be just a student athlete. I also wanted to be academically successful. I really like the relationship with the professors. All of my classes have been pretty small, and the professors, I feel like, genuinely care about you as a student. We went to Florida this past winter. It was for a coastal ecology class. Being outside, getting dirty, getting sunburned, doing a bunch of collections, I really enjoy it. I'm Kylie Porter, and that's why I chose C of I.
Red Devil Baseball also being brought to you today by...
My name is Surya Viswanathan, and I'm an Associate of Arts Intercultural and International Studies student.
I came to Douglas for the baseball program. I had no clue what I wanted to study, but I wanted to play baseball, I knew that. So when I came to Douglas, I joined the Student Ambassador program, and I met some key individuals who actually helped shape my future. With their mentorship and guidance, I realized that I wanted to be a diplomat for the United Nations. So I know there's a lot of pressure into becoming a diplomat, but I feel I'm ready for that because Douglas has prepared me. It's given me the tools I need for my future.
On to the top half of the 6th inning, and Anthony Garcia continues to work in relief of Travis Painter, and he'll face Jaden Hanna, Tony Ortiz, and Thomas Rudinsky, numbers 2 through 5, in the Lane Titan batting order. Good ball game here this afternoon. We're tied at 1. Garcia ready, delivers, popped up, left side of the infield. Jordan Barkas near the bag, settles under it, makes the catch for one quick out here in the top half of the 6th. That'll bring in Tony Ortiz. Ortiz skied to left his first time up and then walked in the 4th.
Baseman number 29, Tony Ortiz.
3 home runs on the year, .322 hitter. Plays a solid first base for the Lane Titans. Outfield straight away. Garcia working quickly, pours the fastball in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I'm telling you, the batters step out of the batter's box and they get back in, and I mean, they're barely in, and he's bringing the ball up to the plate. And they're trying to slow him down because he likes to work fast. The next pitch is a fastball. It's a little bit low, and the count is 1-1. Once again, Garcia steps out of the box and reaches down, kind of adjusts his shoes a little bit, kind of killing some time. Anything to take Garcia off his rhythm. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside, almost hit him. He turned away a little bit. Garcia gonna take a walk around the back side of the slope. Tucks his shirt in again. That shirt's giving him more trouble today. Of course, he's kind of herky-jerky out there on the mound too, so I think probably gets yanked out a little bit. So after some repair work on the uniform, now he's back up on top. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. A little bit outside, ball 3, and the count is 3-1. And again, Ortiz doing a good job of playing the game to try to disrupt the rhythm of Anthony Garcia. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. That one may have been a little bit up and out of the strike zone. So the count now full on Ortiz. Three and 2 the count. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Chop to the right side. Cameron Campbell fields the ball, has it kick off his glove, keeps it in front of him, and steps on the bag to retire Tony Ortiz. Good work down there at first base by Cameron Campbell, and there you see him doing a good job of knocking the ball down and keeping it in front of him. That's the old catcher skills of Cameron Campbell. So 3 unassisted on the putout, and that'll bring in Thomas Rudinsky, the designated hitter.
The designated hitter, number 17, Thomas Rudinsky.
Rudinsky bounced to Campbell unassisted in the 2nd inning and lined out to the shortstop in the 4th. Here comes the pitch. Fastball, check swing, takes it for a strike, and the count is 0-1. And Rudinsky steps out of the batter's box and takes his time getting back in. Now he's going to take some time and adjust his batting gloves. If this was in the major leagues now, where they're worried about trying to speed up the game, they'd be making those guys get back in the batter's box.
Play ball. Get in the box.
Now the umpire motions him to get in. Now as he gets in, now he calls timeout. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball down low. Count evens up at 1-1. And once again, he steps out of the box, and the umpire says something to him, and now he gets back in. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. In there for a called strike. And the count is 1-2. Rudinsky didn't like the call. He thought it was a little bit low, but from my vantage point, it looked to have been right at the knees on the outside edge. Garcia back up on top. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. This one's down low, ball 2, 2-2 the count. Garcia, when he follows through, literally runs back up to the mound, backing up. 3-2 the count now. Next pitch down low. 3-2 the count on Radinsky, who stays in the batter's box, does not step out. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Chopped up the third base line, kicks foul about halfway up the line. Radinsky, who was packing the bat with him up the first base line, going to make the long walk back. And the count remains full on the designated hitter for the Lane Titans. So now he adjusts the batting gloves on his way back to the batter's box. Mentioned earlier, Radinsky out of Lincoln High School in Portland. Garcia ready. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Hit to the right side. Right to Cameron Campbell. Takes it on the big bounce. Goes to the bag and steps on it ahead of Radinsky, and that'll do it for the Lane Titans here in the top half of the sixth. Scoreless. We move now to the bottom half of the sixth. The score, Lane 1, Lower Columbia 1.
When you first visit Seattle Pacific University, it's easy to fall in love with the campus. But just ask one of the students. There's something different about SPU, a place where faith, service, and academic excellence meet. And it's the only private university in the Pacific Northwest to make the latest U.S. News and World Report Best National Universities list. This is Seattle Pacific University.
Medical specialists in the Guard are skilled in CPR, field triage, and emergency life support. Medics stabilize and evac the wounded during combat, come to the aid of civilians in a disaster, and provide day-to-day outpatient care. Medical specialists are saving lives on and off the battlefield.
The first day of school is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you, for them, Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
Where their reputation rides with you. On to the bottom half of the sixth inning. Trevor Huddleston will step in to lead it off against Kyle Keith, who has gone all the way for the Lane Titans. The pitch in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Trevor to be followed by Chase Hodgkinson and Steve Robinson. Keith has done a good job so far today for the Titans. The next pitch up high, ball 1, 1-1 the count. Fans enjoying the music here between innings, played by Justin Ford. Getting into it, YMCA this particular half inning. There's a ground ball out toward the second baseman. Hannah Fields throws to first in time to get Trevor Huddleston. So one man down here in the bottom half of the sixth. And Chase Hodgkinson will step in. Chase bounced to the shortstop in the second and walked in the fourth. Be sure to check out the NWAC on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all the latest NWAC news. Also visit nwacsports.org for the most recent information on schedules, scores, stats, and more. First pitch in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 on Hodgkinson. Keith working from the stretch. There's a ground ball out toward the shortstop, Caceres. Fields throws to first in time. So two men quickly down here in the bottom half of the sixth, and that'll bring in Steve Robinson. Robinson singled and scored the Red Devils' only run, and then hit into a fielder's choice. .279 hitter on the year. Here comes the pitch. Check swing, takes it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Robinson's done a little of everything for the Red Devils this year. He's played primarily left field, but he'll move over to right. He can play a little second base in a pinch. There's the pitch. Down low, 1-1 the count. That was a breaking ball. Corey Conklin in the on-deck circle for the Red Devils. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a fly ball lifted into left center field. The center fielder, Hank Forrest, moves over into left center and makes the catch. And that'll do it for the Red Devils here in the bottom of the 6th. They go quietly. We have played 6. The score, Lane 1, Lower Columbia 1.
Seattle Pacific University is a premier Christian university where each year 4,000 students catch a vision for making a difference in the world. All across the globe, SPU graduates are making an impact in medicine, technology, athletics, business, education, music, theater, and more. SPU is dedicated to outstanding scholarship and thoughtful faith. It's a powerful combination that brings about change in the lives of graduates and in the people and communities they serve. Seattle Pacific University, engaging the culture, changing the world.
When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation, it's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges. This is why we search for the best and brightest, why we train for every eventuality, on land and water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We operate in a complex world with one simple mission: win.
Ready for a new adventure? Study at Douglas College in Vancouver, Canada. Take a post-degree program and launch your career, or prepare to study at top Canadian universities. Become eligible for a 3-year work visa with a 2-year program. Choose success. Choose Douglas College.
On to the top half of the 7th inning. Bryce Mulcahy, Jimmy McDonald, and Colton Sakamoto will step in to face Anthony Garcia. Garcia came in at the top of the 4th inning and has pitched very well for the Red Devils in relief of Travis Painter. Here's the first pitch, hit on the ground, right side. Cameron Campbell just in foul territory, in behind the bag. Call made down there by the first base umpire, Colin Price. And the count is 1 strike on Mr. Mulcahy. Hitting .246 on the year, had the double down into the right field corner in the 2nd inning, and then lined out to the center fielder, Kyle Sandstrom, in the 4th. Mulcahy asking for some resin to rub the bat down just a little bit. Now throws it over toward the third base dugout and makes his way back into the left-handed batter's box and takes a good practice cut. Mulcahy, the right fielder for the Lane Titans. Garcia ready, the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. At a breaking ball, and the count is 0-2. Mulcahy steps out of the batter's box. Takes his time getting back in, now does so. Garcia ready, here comes the 0-2 pitch. There's a fly ball into deep right center field. Trevor Huddleston going back on the ball, back near the warning track. Cannot come up with it. Mulcahy gonna coast in with his 2nd double of the day. Looks like Trevor may have gotten a glove on it. Let's watch the replay here. There he is back on the warning track right near the wall and went off of his glove. So we'll see how they score it. Justifiably so. They're going to go ahead and give him a double on that. Huddleston had to go a very, very long way and had to battle the wind on it as well. So a double off the bat of Bryce Mulcahy, and Jimmy McDonald will step in. Mulcahy having a good day today with a couple of doubles, bracketed around a line out to center field. So Lane now threatens with a runner in scoring position here in the top half of the 7th inning. Nobody down. Cameron Campbell at first, expecting a bunt up on the cut of the grass. McDonald squares to bunt, bunts it foul, fielded on one bounce by the catcher, Chase Hodgkinson, and the count is 1 strike on McDonald. McDonald to be followed by Colton Sakamoto, who's in the on-deck circle. Campbell continues to play up at first. Corey Conklin is shortstop, pulled around toward the bag at second. Garcia with a look at Mulcahy, the runner at second. McDonald squares to bunt. There's the pitch. He does lay down the bunt up the third base line. It's a beauty. Marcus Fields throws to first, and it is nice scoop down there by Cameron Campbell on a one bouncer. Boy, that had trouble written all over it. Not only because it was a perfect bunt up the third base line, but Marcus almost handcuffed his first baseman Cameron Campbell, who made the scoop on it. So the sacrifice is successful. Score at 5-3. Boy, the wind just all of a sudden blowing papers all over the place in here in the press box. Man alive. And in steps Colton Sakamoto. There's a line drive into right field, a base hit, and it's going to pick up the run as Bryce Mulcahy comes in to score from third base. First pitch swinging. Sakamoto rips one right into right field, and Lane now leading the ball game by a score of 2-1 here in the top half of the 7th inning.
Shortstop, number 12, Boone Cazares.
Boone Cazares will step in now to face Anthony Garcia. Garcia. First pitch out of the strike zone for a ball. Bobby Rose, nice enough to come up here and help pick up some of my papers that blew all over the place. Garcia checks the runner over at first. There's a snap throw over to first. Getting back in is Sakamoto. So the Lane Titans have used a couple of hits in the top half of the 7th inning to punch ahead by a score of 2-1. They now have 2 runs on 5 hits. The Red Devils 1 run on 4 hits. The pitch from Garcia, lifted foul up and out of play off to the left of home plate. And the count evens up at 1-1 on Boone Cazares. Henry Lovecamp is in the on-deck circle for the Lane Titans. Garcia, ready. Now steps off the rubber. The runner over at first, Sakamoto, does a lot of jumping and moving around back and forth, and perhaps a little bit distracting to Garcia. There's a snap throw over, and Sakamoto dives back in easily. Wind is really picking up right now. I mean, it is really blowing hard from left to right. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, right on the outside edge for a called strike. And the count moves to 1-2. Not sure that Cazares liked that call real well, as he kind of says something to the home plate umpire. Garcia, ready once again. Once again, a snap throw over, and once again, Sakamoto gets back, this time standing. Sakamoto did not have a big lead that time, and Garcia once again gonna adjust his uniform out there. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a ball sharply hit. Diving stop by Muzzy. Goes to second for 1. There'll be no relay. Boy, nice play by Ricky Muzzy. Diving to his left to knock that ball down before it got into right field. And there you see the replay on Topher Vision. And he managed to get up and fire to Corey Conklin covering second base. So they get the lead runner, Sakamoto, at second base. And Cazares will be aboard on a fielder's choice. So 2 men down now. And that'll bring in Henry Lovecamp. Lovecamp bounced to Muzzy at second in the third and singled in the 5th. came into the game hitting 181. Caceres gets his lead over at first base. Here comes the pitch to Lovecamp. It's a high fastball, and the count is 1 ball. Center fielder Sandstrom just a couple steps toward left center field. The shortstop Corey Conklin pulled over a little bit toward the bag at second. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Check swing, takes it for a strike right on the outside edge. And the count is 1-1. Trevor Huddleston fairly deep in right field. And with that wind blowing out to right now, that makes good sense. There's a snap throw over to first base. Getting back in is Caceres. Would imagine the sun is a little bit of a factor for the first baseman Cameron Campbell right now. As we play it a few minutes after 6. There's the next pitch outside, and the throw down to second base is not in time. And once again, that was a steal on Anthony Garcia, as they have clearly picked something up over there. And the runner from first, Caceres, broke before Garcia even delivered the ball. So Caceres in scoring position now with 2 men down. And the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes on Henry Lovecamp. Garcia ready. Long hesitation. Now he comes to the plate. Takes a little something off. Outside, ball 2. 2-2 the count now on Henry Lovecamp. Hank Forrest, the on-deck batter. He is the leadoff hitter. So the Red Devils going to have to play from behind if they want to come back and get the win this afternoon. Now into the early evening. There's the next pitch. A little bit high and inside. The count runs full. Some of the Red Devil fans thought it was in there. Count full now on Henry Lovecamp. Garcia ready. Here comes the payoff pitch. Fouled. Third base side. Count remains full, 3-2. Listening to NWAC Championship Baseball on KLOG 1490. Kelso Longview, KLOG.com, and you're watching on Topher Vision. Garcia ready, the pitch. Outside, ball 4. So Henry Lovecamp will trot on down to first base with a 2-out base on balls. So runners on first and second now with 2 men down, and we're going to get some activity down in the Red Devil bullpen.
Top the order for Lane, center fielder number 21, Hank Forrest.
Hank Forrest will step in. He is the leadoff hitter for Lane, and Eddie Smith is going to come out and have a quick word. Tom Gomez. Thank you, Kirk. Tom Gomez is the pitcher going down to warm up in the bullpen for the Red Devils. And Eddie making the long, slow walk out to the mound. And if you've come to Lower Columbia ball games in the years that Eddie has been here, and this is his 4th year, you know that when he goes to the mound, it is a long, slow walk. It's a short visit between he and Anthony Garcia and the catcher Chase Hodgkinson, and Eddie's on his way back to the dugout. Eddie played ball up at North Thurston High School and played a couple years at Centralia Community College before going on and playing ball over at Notre Dame. Was an assistant coach at Notre Dame and then at the University of Virginia, more recently at Santa Clara before taking a job here at Lower Columbia. Hank Forrest looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Runners on first and second, 2 men down. Garcia ready. Here comes the pitch. It's up high, ball 1. 1-0 the count. And man, every once in a while, the wind just wants to yank stuff out of the press box, I'm telling you. Garcia checks the runner out at second base. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Popped up Left field, Steve Robinson moves over toward the line, settles under it, makes the two-handed catch. And that will do it for Lane here in the top half of the 7th, but they come up with 1 run on a couple of hits. They now lead Lower Columbia 2-1.
LCC has definitely prepared me to transfer to Oregon State because it's helped me with my study skills. I'm a much harder worker than I was in high school.
I had a great support base by the staff, and I've made some great friends that I think I'll carry on with my life.
I've definitely loved my classes. I've learned a lot. It's been a healthy environment.
Don't be afraid to branch out. The people here are awesome. I'm going to be in it for a while, but down the road I'll be finishing up and be ready to join the workforce.
Station Portland on space to ground 3. Ready to close valve 2. Open valve
1. We get ready to move on into the bottom half of the 7th inning, and the new pitcher for the Lane Titans in relief of Kyle Keith is Drew Smyrns. Smyrns on the year with a record of 2-1, but a minuscule earned run average of 1.09. He's pitched 33 innings, striking out 25. So Drew Smyrns in to try to seal the deal for the Lane Titans over the last 3 innings here. There's a ball chopped up the first base line. The first baseman fields just in foul territory. So Corey Conklin's going to get new life with 1 strike, and now the home plate umpire makes his way up the first base line, and the call will stand. That call was made by Colin Price as first baseman Tony Ortiz came up to field the ball and just was in foul territory when he put the tag on Corey Conklin. Conklin to be followed by Ricky Muzzy and JT Strickler. Smyrns, a good-sized guy, 6'6", out of Churchill High School in Eugene. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a soft line drive. 1 bouncer out to the shortstop. There's a throw to first. Nice scoop over there by the first baseman, Tony Ortiz. And Corey Conklin is out. Score at 6-3 here, leading off the bottom half of the 7th. We go back to the top of the order for Ricky Muzzy. Ricky is 2 for 3 in the ball game today. Came in hitting .340. Smyrns working from the first base side of the pitching rubber. Here comes the pitch. Fastball hit to the left side and just by the diving shortstop Caceres. And even had Caceres been able to come up with it, there's absolutely no way that he was going to be able to throw out Ricky Muzzy. So Muzzy is 3 for 4 on the afternoon. And with 1 man down, JT Strickler will step in. Red Devils down by 1 in the bottom half of the 7th, 2-1 to the Lane Titans. Both teams with 5 hits now. There's a snap throw over to first base, and Muzzy dives back in. I'm telling you, Smyrns is built like a big tight end. He is a big kid. Now he steps off the rubber and now gets back up on top. JT looking for his first hit today, walked his last time up, takes a called strike, and the count is 0-1. JT does have home run power. He has 4 home runs on the year. After a slow start the first couple weeks of the season, in which he hit the ball hard but just lined it right at everybody, all of a sudden the hit started falling for JT, and now he sits at .378 on the year. There's a throw over to first base, and Muzzy gets back again. There's the next pitch. Slow breaking ball from Drew Smyrns. Drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-2 on JT. JT, big deep breath, shrugs his shoulders. Now gets back in that right-handed batter's box. Once again, a snap throw. And once again, diving back in ahead is Ricky Muzzy. Cameron Campbell is on deck for the Red Devils. Muzzy with just an average lead out there. Here's the pitch to Strickler. Chopped foul at the plate. Count remains 0-2. If Lower Columbia should come from behind and win, they would play tomorrow at 3:05. If Lane wins, they will play Everett tomorrow at 12:05. 1-2 the count on JT Strickler. Here comes the next pitch. It's a breaking ball down low, and they ring him up. Home plate umpire Chris Claflin asked for some help from first base umpire Colin Price, and they say he offered. We'll get a chance to see it right here, and boy, I don't know. I'm not so sure about that, but it doesn't matter what I think. So 2 men down now, and Cameron Campbell will step in. I'm telling you, Smyrns has got a really good breaking ball. There's a toss over to first, and Muzzy gets back in again. Outfield straight away for Campbell. And what a time for Campbell to come up with an 8th home run. There's a snap throw over to first base again, and once again Muzzy dives back in. They're going to wear Muzzy out just diving back into first base. Here comes the pitch. Curveball just misses, ball 1. 1-0 the count on Cameron Campbell, young man out of Ellensburg. Calls time and steps out, and Smyrns was into the motion and went ahead and fired it in anyway. Third baseman Henry Lovekamp plays well back behind the bag. There's a throw over to first base. Once again, Muzzy gets back in. Right fielder Mulcahy a little bit off the line. There's the next pitch, in for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Timeout called as a ball had gotten loose out of the Lane bullpen. We've got a right-hander throwing down in that bullpen. There's a toss over again, and once again, Muzzy gets back in. If you've been coming to the LCC games this year, Muzzy has had a tear on his left hip pretty much all year long. There's the next pitch. Cameron offers at it, and kind of a weak swing at that. And the count now 1-2. That was a breaking ball down in the strike zone. Now he's got a Muzzy, speaking of Muzzy, now he's got a tear in the pants on the knee as well. Smyrns ready, comes to the set position. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, breaking ball down low and away. There's a snap throw down to first base. Muzzy dives back in. I think their mission is to tire him out. 2-2 the count on Cameron Campbell. Smyrns ready, the 2-2 pitch, breaking ball down low. Muzzy breaks from first to throw down to second base, and it gets past the second baseman. Backed up nicely, though, by the shortstop, Caceres. So give a stolen base to Ricky Muzzy. He's in scoring position. The count full now on Cameron Campbell. Smyrns leans down, has the sign he wants from Jimmy McDonald. Here comes the 3-2 pitch, lifted in the air, foul. First base side, going to drift out of play over toward the campus. And the count remains full on Cameron. Muzzy was off on contact. Just a well-placed single could get Muzzy home. He's got good speed out there at second base. He's being held on pretty well, however, by the second baseman, Jaden Hanna. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball fouled again over toward the campus on the first base side. And the count remains full. Wind continuing to blow from left to right now. Here comes a 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball, down low, ball 4. They say this time he did not offer, so Campbell on his way down to first base. And Jordan Barkus will step in. Jordan looking for his first hit on the afternoon. 0 for 3. Runners get their leads at first and second. The pitch to Barkus is in for a called strike. That was a fastball right at the knees on the inside edge. And the count is 0-1. Smyrns tends to throw more curveballs than he does fastballs. At least he has to the right-handed batters. Checks the runner at second, delivers, curveball, lifted in the air, left field, playable by Sakamoto. Moves in and over toward the line, makes the catch, and that'll do it for the Red Devils here in the bottom half of the 7th as they're turned away after 1 hit, leaving 2 runners on base. After 7, the score, Lane 2, Lower Columbia 1.
Ready for a new adventure? Study at Douglas College in Vancouver, Canada. Take a post-degree program and launch your career, or prepare to study at top Canadian universities. Become eligible for a 3-year work visa with a 2-year program. Choose success. Choose Douglas College.
Look, baseball's a numbers game. A 570-foot home run at age 15, 31 homers in 66 games, first front cover at 16, number 1 overall draft pick, majors at 19. Over 100 home runs is 34. On-base percentage of 340, then 368, then 460. 4-time All-Star, beating 9.2 million ballots, 30 out of 30 MVP votes, chasing 762, 4256, 2297, 3562. You're 220 at age 23. 597, But kid, just remember, no number sounds as good as this.
And Anthony Garcia continues to work in relief of Travis Painter. And right now he would stand to be the losing pitcher if Lower Columbia does not come back from this 2-1 deficit. Garcia will face Jaden Hanna, Tony Ortiz, and Thomas Rudinsky. The first pitch is in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Hanna, after stepping out of the box, gets back in. There's the next pitch, right on the outside edge for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. Hanna kind of asks home plate umpire Chris Claflin maybe exactly where that was. Now it gets back in the batter's box. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, a little bit outside. The count now 1-2 on Hanna. Hanna, left-handed batter. Gets back in, slightly open stance. The 1-2 pitch, chopped foul behind the plate. And the count remains 1-2. Two runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Titans. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for the Red Devils. Titans have left 6 runners on base. The Red Devils have left 8. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, outside. Count now 2-2. Ricky Muzzy very deep at second base out on the outfield grass. Left fielder Steve Robinson shaded toward the left field line. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, lifted in the air to left field. Robinson moving over to his left, reaches up and flags it down. That ball had maybe a little more carry, I think, than Steve initially thought. So 1 out here in the top half of the 8th. And that'll bring in the number 3 hitter in the lineup, Tony Ortiz. Ortiz has skied to left, walked, and bounced to the first baseman. This is the young man that takes a lot of time between pitches, and he takes a lot of time to step into the batter's box. Garcia ready. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball one. Ortiz steps out of the batter's box. Now he gets back in. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Popped up. Down the right field line, foul territory. Cameron Campbell going back on it. Ricky Muzzy gets in between the right fielder Huddleston and the first baseman Cameron Campbell to make the catch. Nice running play by Ricky Muzzy, kind of in dead man's land down there. So 2 men down quickly here in the top half of the 8th, and Thomas Radinsky will step in.
The DH, number 17, Thomas Radinsky.
Radinsky looking for his first hit. He's bounced to first a couple of times and lined out to the shortstop. Here comes the pitch. Fouled, up and out of play. First base side, up and over the netting. And the count quickly 1 strike on Thomas Radinsky. Should he get aboard? Bryce Mulcahy is in the on-deck circle. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Curveball, just a little bit low, 1-1 the count. NWAC Baseball coming to you on 1490 KLOG Kelso Longview, KLOG.com, and you are watching on Topher Vision. The 1-1 pitch, fouled up and out of play. Count 1-2 now. Center fielder Kyle Sandstrom, several steps over toward right center field. Robinson pulled over into left field, or left center field. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Just a little bit low, ball 2, 2-2 the count. Radinsky calls time as he steps in the box. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a ground ball down to the first, or line drive rather, down to the first baseman Cameron Campbell. I got blocked by the post there, and he caught it right off of his shoe tops to end the inning. So Lane out 1-2-3 here in the top of the 8th. We move to the bottom of the 8th. The score, the Lane Titans 2, the Lower Columbia Red Devils 1.
Look, baseball's a numbers game. A 570-foot home run at age 15, 31 homers in 66 games. First front cover at 16. Number 1 overall draft pick. Majors at 19. Over 100 home runs is 34. On-base percentage at 340, then 368, then 460. 4-time All-Star, beating 9.2 million ballots, 30 out of 30 MVP votes. Chasing 762, 4256, 2297, 3562. You're 220 at age 23. But kid, just remember, no number sounds as good as this.
Kyle Sandstrom will step in and lead it off against Drew Smyrns for the Red Devils here in the bottom of the 8th. The first pitch from Smyrns is a fastball down low, and the count is 1 ball. Time starting to draw a little bit short for the Red Devils as they trail by 1 in the bottom half of the 8th. There comes the next pitch from Smyrns. It's in for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Sandstrom to be followed by Trevor Huddleston and Chase Hodgkinson. There's the next pitch, lined right back at Smyrns, who caught it right waist level. Oh, that ball was smoked. Smyrns out there shaking his head right now. That ball was absolutely drilled. And there you see Smyrns. Man, that was self-defense, I'm telling you. Boy, 60 feet away, and that ball was going about 100 miles an hour. There's the pitch from Smyrns to Huddleston. Drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Man, oh, live. The 0-1 pitch, a curveball, a little bit low, and the count evens up at 1-1. You cannot hit the ball harder than Sandstrom hit it right back to Drew Smyrns. Here's the 1-1 pitch, fouled back into the netting behind the plate, and the count 1-2 now on Trevor. Steve Robinson chases the ball down for the Red Devils. Outfield straight away for Huddleston. Smyrns ready. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball down low and away, and the count evens up at 2-2. Big right-hander ready. There's the pitch. Chopped up the first base side. Going to be fielded by Ortiz, and he runs to the bag himself for the putout. So score at 3 unassisted. And with 2 men down, that'll bring in Chase Hodgkinson. Chase officially 0 for 2 in the ball game. Has bounced to short a couple of times and walked. Again, a switch hitter, hitting from the left-handed side against the right-hander Smyrns. Smyrns ready, delivers the fastball down low and inside, and the count's 1 ball. Red Devils down to their final 4 outs here. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball catches the inside edge for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. A check swing. Did he go? They say he did not, as the pitch sails outside, and the count 2-1 on Chase. Steve Robinson swings the bat in the on-deck circle for the Red Devils. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Down low, ball 3, 3-1 to count. Got a right-hander standing down in the lane bullpen. There's the next pitch, right on the inside edge for a called strike. I think Chase might have thought that was inside. The count now full on the left-handed batter out of Australia. Now he gets back in, calls time, and steps out of the batter's box. And now he gets back in, taps the plate, chokes up on the bat handle about an inch. The 3-2 pitch, down low, ball 4, breaking ball. So Hodgkinson, with good plate discipline, is aboard. 2-out walk, and that'll bring in Steve Robinson. Robinson singled and scored the Red Devils' only run back into third. Since then, he's hit into a fielder's choice, and he is skied to center. Here comes the pitch, high and outside, ball 1. Robinson takes a little walk off to the right of the plate. Looks down to his third base coach, Eric Lane, now gets back in. Here comes the pitch. Lifted in the air, center field. Center fielder Forrest goes back a couple of steps, now comes in, makes the catch as the wind kind of held it up. And that'll do it for the Red Devils here in the bottom of the 8th. No runs on no hits, no errors, 1 left. We've played 8. The score, Lane 2, Lower Columbia 1.
Aviation warrant officers deal in high-pressure situations, life-saving disaster rescues, delivering soldiers and payloads to critical areas, and engaging enemy targets. Supported by an aviation mechanic team on the ground, guard pilots control the sky.
LCC has definitely prepared me to transfer to Oregon State because it's helped me with my study skills. I'm a much harder worker than I was in high school.
I had a great support base by the staff, and I've made some great friends that I think I'll carry on with my life.
I've definitely loved my classes. I've learned a lot. It's been a healthy environment.
Don't be afraid to branch out. The people here are awesome. I'm going to be in it for a while, but down the road I'll be finishing up and be ready to join the workforce.
When you first visit Seattle Pacific University, it's easy to fall in love with the campus. But just ask one of the students. There's something different about SPU, a place where faith, service, and academic excellence meet. And it's the only private university in the Pacific Northwest to make the latest U.S. News & World Report Best National Universities list. This is Seattle Pacific University.
On to the ninth inning. Bryce Mulcahy will step in to face Anthony Garcia, who came on in the top half of the fourth inning in relief of Travis Painter. The pitch to Mulcahy is in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Mulcahy's got a good afternoon going, as he's 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles and has scored a run. Garcia ready, the 0-1 pitch, lifted in the air, left center field. Sandstrom moving over, cuts in front of the left fielder Robinson to make the catch in left center field. So one man down here in the top half of the ninth, and that'll bring in Jimmy McDonald. McDonald looking for his first hit on the day. He has bounced to short, he's bounced to third, and he put down a sacrifice bunt.
Catcher, number 8, Jimmy.
That was a beautiful bunt. Very close play at first base. Here comes the pitch by Anthony Garcia. It is down low, ball 1. In case you're wondering, the Red Devils in their half of the ninth will send up Corey Conklin, Ricky Musley, and JT Strickler. The 1-0 pitch, curveball, in for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. McDonald steps out. Understand we lost some power back at the studios at KLOG. In case you've just rejoined us, the count is 2-2 now on Jimmy McDonald as we play in the ninth inning, top half of the ninth, with one man down, nobody on base. There's the next pitch, fouled, up and out of play. Gonna fall back beyond the third base grandstand. McDonald taking a lot of time as he steps out of the box. Now he gets back in. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Lined foul down the third base line, up and out of play. And the count remains 2-2 on the left-handed hitting catcher for the Lane Titans. Came into the game hitting .216. Boy, I'll tell you what, Josh Blunt has stacked the lineup with left-handers today against the Red Devil right-handed pitcher. There's the pitch. That's hit on the right side. Nice play by Muzzy, ranging to his left, but he slips and falls down. He went from the artificial turf onto the natural turf out there as he tried to plant, and his foot slipped out from beneath him, and it was going to be a very, very close play anyway. There you see the replay on Topher Vision, so that'll be an infield single for Jimmy McDonald. And with one man down, a runner on first, Colton Sakamoto will step in. Sakamoto singled his last time up, so he's officially 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Garcia ready. There's the first pitch outside to Sakamoto. Boone Caceres is on deck for the Lane Titans. Crowd kind of quiet right now. Offensively, the Red Devils haven't given them a whole lot to really be too excited about, that's for sure. Toss over to first, easily back was Jimmy McDonald. Garcia with the ball back up on top of the pitching rubber, continues to work from the first base side of that rubber. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a ball hit to the right of the pitching mound. Muzzy Fields, his only play to first base. So they record the out 4-3 on Colton Sakamoto. On the play, Jimmy McDonald moves to second base. And with two men down, Boone Caceres will step in. Caceres bounced to second and third, struck out in the fifth, and hit into a fielder's choice in the seventh. But boy, he has been stellar at shortstop here today. Caceres Takes his time getting in the batter's box. Garcia has the sign he wants from Chase Hodgkinson, delivers. First pitch is in at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Again, Caceres taking his time, getting back in the box. Garcia, one of the few times that he wasn't ready to pitch the instant the batter was in the box. Swinging on a miss at a ball down in the strike zone, and the count is 0-2 on Caceres. Once again, Caceres steps out and adjusts both batting gloves. Chokes up on that bat handle about an inch or so. And gets back in the batter's box. Garcia has the sign he wants. Checks that runner out at second base. That's Jimmy McDonald. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Outside, ball one. Good waste pitch that time by Garcia. Catcher Chase Hodgkinson set up outside, and Garcia put it right on the glove. 1-2 the count on Caceres. Garcia taking a little more time now between his pitches. And now Caceres calls time and wants to step out of the box to adjust his gloves again. Now the tall, lanky left-hander gets back in. Here comes the pitch. There's a sharply hit ball right out to Corey Conklin. Fields cleanly, strong throw to first in time, and that'll do it for the Lane Titans here in the top of the ninth. No runs on one hit, no errors, or one man left. We move to the bottom half of the ninth. The score, Lane 2, Lower Columbia 1.
Seattle Pacific University is a premier Christian university where each year 4,000 students catch a vision for making a difference in the world. All across the globe, SPU graduates are making an impact in medicine, technology, athletics, business, education, music, theater, and more. SPU is dedicated to outstanding scholarship and thoughtful faith. It's a powerful combination that brings about change in the lives of graduates and in the people and communities they serve. Seattle Pacific University, engaging the culture, changing the world.
Soldiers in the Guard's intelligence field gather information on the enemy using a variety of tactics. Scanning foreign communications, conducting interrogations, and debriefing friendly contacts, all while delivering and coordinating data to help allies on the battlefield or stop civil emergencies. The enemy can't hide from Guard intelligence.
The first day of school is kind of scary. You don't know your teachers yet or who your friends will be. But school is really important. It's how you learn things and grow.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna do great, Mommy.
For you, for them, Clark College. Get started today at clark.edu.
Last call for the Red Devils. As we go to the bottom half of the ninth, they trail 2-1. Corey Conklin will step in and lead it off against Drew Smyrns. The first pitch sails outside, ball one, 1-0 the count. It'll be Conklin, Ricky Muzzy, and JT Strickler. Numbers 9, 1, and 2 in the order for the Red Devils as they try to come back from a 2-1 deficit. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Chopped foul to the right of home plate, and the count evens up at 1-1 on the left-handed hitting Conklin out of Corvallis, Oregon. Corey steps out of the batter's box, now gets back in to face the 6'6" Drew Smyrns. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. A curveball drops in nicely for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. Smyrns ready. The pitch. Breaking ball. Stays outside 2-2. Ball kind of slipped out of the hands of the big right-hander for the Lane Titans. So again, if Lane holds on and wins, Lower Columbia would play at 3:05 tomorrow. There's the next pitch. Fouled at the plate, and man, Conklin just did get a piece of it. stays alive 2-2. If that's the case, then the 12:05 game tomorrow would be Lane and Everett. And then the winner of that game would face the Red Devils. Here's the next pitch, lifted in the air, deep right center field. Right fielder Mulcahy giving a chase and races it down out in deep right center field for the first out of the 9th inning. Conklin gave it a pretty good ride out to deep right center field, but got under it just a little bit. So with one man down, Ricky Muzzy will step in. Muzzy is 3 for 4 on the afternoon. He has had a splendid day, and he's made some nice plays in the field as well. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Man, he had a rip at that. He was going downtown with that one. Muzzy does have home run power. He has 3 home runs on the year. Calls time as he steps in the batter's box. Smyrns. Ready. There's a pitch. Laced foul. Third base side. And the count quickly 2 strikes on the Red Devil second baseman. Muzzy, long look down to his coach at third base, Eric Lane, now gets back in. Smyrns ready. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. A fastball just outside, pops out of the glove of the catcher, Jimmy McDonald, who moves out to the right of the batter's box about 10 feet and retrieves the ball. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Curveball lifted foul just past the first base dugout into the netting down there. And the count remains 1-2 on Muzzy. Big right-hander leans down. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Curveball stays inside. And the count 2-2 now on Ricky. Outfield straight away for the Red Devils second baseman. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Curveball lined into center field beyond the leaping second baseman, Jaden Hanna, for a base hit. So Ricky Muzzy is 4 of 5 on the afternoon, and the Red Devils have some life with one man down. And JT Strickler, who is due, will step in to face the big right-hander. And Josh Blunt is coming out to have a word with the home plate umpire, Chris Claflin. And it looks like we're going to have some, maybe a defensive change. In fact, we are. So we'll check and see what's going on. And Mr. Smyrns, his work apparently is done as some of the infielders come in to shake his hand. And until he starts to walk off the mound, we'll just make absolute sure that that's what's taking place here. It is. So we'll step away for 1 minute. We're in the 9th inning, bottom of the 9th. The score, Lane 2, Red Devils 1. Back in 1 minute. Coming into the ball game to play right field is Skylar Vale. On the season, Mulcahy with a record of 1-2, but an earned run average of 1.61. He pitched 22 1/3 innings, giving up 11 hits. He walked 11 and he struck out 27. So 27 strikeouts in 22 and 1/3 innings. So clearly a strikeout pitcher for the Lane Titans, Bryce Mulcahy. One man down, bottom half of the ninth. Lane leading by a score of 2-1. And Mulcahy will face JT Strickler. JT hitless on the afternoon, officially 0 for 3. He does have a walk. On the season, the leading hitter for the Red Devils at .378 with 4 home runs. Mulcahy has completed his warm-up tosses, meets with his middle infielders, and now he heads up the backside of the slope to face Mr. Strickler. Cameron Campbell is in the on-deck circle for the Red Devils. Mulcahy climbs up onto the pitching rubber, has a long look over at Ricky Muzzy at first base. Good speed at first. Here comes the pitch to Strickler. Fastball right at the knees on the outside edge for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Mulcahy taking plenty of time. Now comes set. The 0-1 pitch. Inside, ball 1. 1-1 the count on JT. Red Devils looking for something into the gap to perhaps get Ricky Muzzy all the way around from first. Outfielders play straight away. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Hits him. A breaking ball that didn't have much of a break. And JT Strickler gets hit by the pitch. And that is either the 20th or the 21st time that he has been hit by a pitch. So Red Devils have runners on first and second now. And in steps Cameron Campbell. Campbell has walked 3 times tonight, and he has bounced to the third baseman and has been a clutch hitter for the Red Devils for 2 years. And now Jimmy McDonald, the catcher, is going to go out and have a quick word with Bryce Mulcahy. Mulcahy trying to close it out for the Lane Titans in relief of Drew Smyrns. Here comes the pitch. Inside, ball 1. Campbell kind of turned away from it. Close pitch. And the count is 1-0 on the sophomore out of Ellensburg. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one's in for a called strike. Good pitch right at the knees on the outside edge, and the count evens up at 1-1. Game 2 hours and 50 minutes old. And it's been a good ball game. The 1-1 pitch, up high, ball 2, 2-1 the count. Muzzy, the runner at second base. JT Strickler, the runner at first. 1 man down, Red Devils trail, 2-1. We're in the bottom half of the ninth. Jordan Barkus is the on-deck batter for the Red Devils. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, up high, ball 3. 3-1 the count on Cameron Campbell. Mulcahy off the backside of the slope, kind of thinking about things. Now he comes back up on top. He does not want to walk him. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Up high, ball 4. So the bases are loaded for Jordan Barkus, who during the regular season had 38 RBIs, and it is now right-handed pitcher against left-handed batter. Barkus looking for his first hit tonight as well. A .333 hitter on the year. Corner infielders play up, middle infielders play back. Mulcahy delivers the first pitch outside, ball one, and the Red Devil fans, who had been quiet for several innings because the last time they scored a run was back in the third, all of a sudden are into it. Mulcahy ready, the 1-0 pitch. Down low, ball two. 2-0 the count on Jordan Barkus. Mulcahy actually looked to me like he motioned to the dugout to have the pitching coach come out. And in fact, that is actually what is going to take place, and the pitching coach is going to be joined by the catcher, Jimmy McDonald. So the conference continues on the mound. Bottom half of the ninth. Lane leads 2-1 over the Red Devils, but the Red Devils threatening, bases loaded, with one man down, their cleanup hitter at the plate. The visit continues. The wind is blowing left to right. And right now, just a good fly ball would get Ricky Muzzy with good speed home from third base. See how Lane plays it defensively here. Now they drop back, except for the third baseman. The first baseman, Tony Ortiz, drops back. Third baseman plays even with the bag. That's Henry Lovecamp. Middle infielder's back. The 2-0 pitch. Called a strike. Right at the knees on the outside edge, and you can hear the Red Devil fans groan. They thought that thing was outside, and from my vantage point, it actually looked like it was. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled behind the plate, up and out of play. Boy, Barkus had a good rip at it, and the count evens up at 2-2 now on the Red Devil third baseman out of Kaiser, Oregon. He has been clutch all year long for the Red Devils. The left-handed batter gets back in. Hands down on the end of the bat. Mulcahy working from the stretch with the bases loaded, one man down. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Chopped foul at the plate. Count remains 2-2. Just did get a piece of it. Looking for a challenge? Push yourself further. It begins when you enlist as a soldier in the U.S. Army. You'll be trained in one of more than 150 career fields and could even earn money for college if you qualify. To find out more, visit your local Army recruiter or log on to goarmy.com. Next pitch high and outside, ball three. 3-2 the count now on Jordan Barkus. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball four. And Mulcahy takes his hat off in absolute frustration. And Ricky Muzzy comes in from third base with a tying run. J.T. Strickler moves to third base. Cameron Campbell is at second. Jordan Barkus, with good eye at the plate, draws the base on balls. And that'll bring in Kyle Sandstrom. Still just one man down, and now the infield pulls in all the way around, and the outfield pulls in as well, as they can't let anything drop in front of them. The pitch to Sandstrom. Line drive, left field. Shallow depth, breaking from third. Strickler to throw to the plate. Not in time! Red Devils win 3-2. How about that? Kyle Sandstrom, the sacrifice fly to left field. Driving in J.T. Strickler from third base. And the Red Devils come from behind to beat the Lane Titans 3-2 in the bottom half of the ninth inning.
Lower Columbia, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Lane, 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors.
For the Red Devils on the inning, they come up with 2 runs on just 1 hit. They had 2 bases on balls and a hit batter, and it was the hit batter, J.T. Strickler, that came in to score the winning run. There were no errors, and there were 3 runners left, or rather 2 runners left on base. So the line score on the ball game for the Red Devils, 3 runs on 6 hits. They play errorless baseball. They left 11 runners on base. For the Lane Titans, 2 runs on 6 hits. They played errorless baseball, and they left 7 runners on base. The winning pitcher in relief, Anthony Garcia. The losing pitcher in relief was Bryce Mulcahy. How about that? With the win, the Red Devils now play.
First of all, Dave, I'd like to have Marco Azurdia.
Let's go down to the field where the executive director of the NWAC, Marco Azurdia, will present the 3rd place trophy to the Lane Titans. And right now they are all huddled up around Coach Josh Blunt down the left field line, and I'm sure a very discouraging loss as they led going into the bottom half of the 9th inning, and the Red Devils managed to put together a couple of walks, a hit batter, a single, and a sacrifice fly to come back and win the ball game by a score of 3-2. And after the trophy presentation, Kirk Rowland is down on the field and will interview a player, and I think Kirk's going to go ahead with it, so let's go ahead and join Kirk.
Dave? All right, before we wait for Lane to take their trophy, let's talk to some of these Red Devils right now. First of all, drove in the game winner, Kyle Sandstrom. Congratulations, Kyle. Talk about the at-bat. Obviously, your teammates set the stage for you.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, our guys just putting together tough ABs all day and never giving in. And shout out to Ricky getting the inning going, then Barkus drawing that game-time walk. And then I had the easy part.
Hey, just serve it out there, a little fly ball, get it done here. Never say die with this team.
Absolutely. That's what we kind of hold our head high on, is just being tough in everybody we play. And hats off to Lane, they're a great team, but just hung with it in the end.
Right. We'll talk about tough. How about this guy? 4 base hits here today. Ricky Buzzy. Ricky, congratulations. Just talk about how you guys had to battle and grind against this tough team until you finally got it done in the last inning.
Yeah, I mean, we've done it all year, and just putting together at bats like Sandy said, and it all worked out for us in the end, so I'm glad.
Well, one thing you knew going in that maybe it was going to be Tommy Fullstaff out here. Talk about guys like Anthony Garcia, Travis Painter, the pitching that what came through here today.
Oh, yeah, just filling it up, and we love that. We love guys who attack the zone, and that's what they did today and got the job done. We love it.
All right, are those pants going to last another day?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ricky Buzzy. And speaking of the pitching, Anthony Garcia. Anthony, you got your shot here today, and boy, did you come through. Just talk about how it was working for you.
Well, I just tried to attack the zone, but they put some good balls in play today, and we had some good defense behind us that helped out for sure. Like, these guys save me every day, man. And so it's easy when you put it out there and you trust you have the guys behind you to just back you up.
All right. Well, the pitching staff got the job done. The Red Devils got the job done. They're going to play for an NWAC championship tomorrow. Congratulations.
If I could direct your attention down to the third base area, Marco Azurdia, the executive director of the NWAC with the Lane Titans. 3rd place in the NWAC baseball in 2017.
As the executive director of the NWAC presents the 3rd place trophy to Josh Blunt and the Lane Titans. And Josh, a very, very nice man, very gracious man in victory and defeat. And I'm sure they're bitterly disappointed, but they'll hold their heads high. They've had a remarkable season. They had a nice run in the tournament. And they always seem to play the Red Devils early in the year. They've kind of got a nice friendly rivalry going. And they always take each other on early in the year, and that's always a good look at a couple of the really good ball clubs in the NWAC. So the Red Devils will advance to the championship round tomorrow. They will play Everett at 12:05, and Everett would have to come back to beat the Red Devils twice to capture the championship. So the Red Devils come from behind to win today's ball game by a score of 3-2 over the Lane Titans. Want to thank Joel Clapp back in the studios at KLOG for an outstanding job. Worked us through a little power outage back there at the station. And Joel, you and Chance always do such a good job. We just appreciate your work so much. I'm Jim DeBruler. I want to thank everybody for listening and remind you to try to get over to the ballpark tomorrow at 12:05 when the Red Devils take on the Everett Trojans for the NWAC championship. Thanks for listening, everybody. Good night.